Welcome everybody to our latest session of the Restoration of Cariele. As usual, we'll do a quick recap of what occurred last week, and then we will get started. All right, guys, trying to mix this up every now and again. I'm taking a stab at this time again. Does anybody remember the highlights of last session?
Oh yeah.
We failed another very important role.
You did indeed. Yeah, care to add what role that was?
Yeah, I believe it was a domain action.
It was, yes. Do you remember what domain action or what the purpose of it was?
Yeah, actually, I could actually just read it, and that's kind of cheating, but But anyway, yeah. So obviously, we failed the one a week before in regards to trying to protect ourselves from the magic and everything like that. But this week here, I don't remember exactly what we protected ourselves from. So
Anybody want to help Tavern out here and fill in the gaps?
I would love to help Bill.
Yeah, go
But
ahead.
go ahead, Brian.
Uh,
I get inspiration anyway.
we did it again. We tried to do it again. Is what we tried to do. The same thing. We failed twice, and it was to prevent the ley line from the eyeless one.
Yes, very close. So the first time it was you guys were trying to prevent the forging of the ley line, and that failed. And then this most recent time, you guys actually tried to contest the source, which essentially would make it non-operable. But unfortunately, that also failed. Yeah, so we'll say go ahead and take inspiration on that one. I'll give that one to Tavern. He had the majority of that. Anybody else want to add additional specifics?
Regarding that or just anything?
Anything that occurred last session?
Yeah, I got one. I actually have a question on. So we had someone approach us, a petitioner, I think, or I got a little confused looking back, but they want to know about these heartstones and that there's a certain number of them, like 6, and I think we have 4 right now. And she said one is like impossible to get. The other one is in the area, and so I'm assuming that one was Vin's and that it's around, and that she would help us get it. And to also be, it told us that there's a great benefit if all the heartstones are in one place and you can use them to do some magic powers.
Okay, kind of.
could I add some more on it
Feel
to
free,
take
feel
up from
free.
my other half and everything? I think we actually technically now have 3 because Vin did have 1, so that would only be there, and that they can be combined. And maybe just as important is in regards to how many people can hold one at once. I believe the answer was only one could be used per person or something, if I remember right, but that could be corrected as well. But anyway, yeah, I think we technically only have 3.
That is correct. We'll go ahead and give that inspiration then to Gordon. So you guys are tag team and helping each other out. So I'll fill in a little bit of details there. So first, these are hero stones. The number of hero stones you guys have is 3. That's correct. The 4th one, the petitioner that you spoke to, is Aridel Bertinal, who previously you have spoken to. She's an elvish armor smith, and she had explained that she thought you guys possessed all 4. She explained that her grandfather actually crafted these hero stones many years ago, and that she had a device that allowed her to detect where the hero stones were. And she said it's not precise, but it's within a general area. So she assumed you had all 4 because she knows 4 of them are in the general area. And she was able to tell you that in the past, some of them left the general area and then returned, and then left and then returned. So she realized that it must be you guys that possess them. As far as the other 2 not currently known about, she said, yeah, one would be absolutely impossible to get. The other one, she did not say it was in the area, but she said there's a possibility that you could obtain it if you're interested. So you guys didn't ask too many details on that, but I would say overall you got the impression that it's not going to be easy to acquire, but it's possible, whereas the other one's just flat out impossible. Anybody else? Anybody else want to add anything else from last session?
Sure. I mean, just for completion's sake, we had 3 other petitioners. One was a farmer guy who was upset that the guild was muscling in on his little village. Apparently, they were taking over their houses and stuff because it's cold out, and they're too big of cowards to, deal with it. But um, basically, we told him that we would get in contact with the guild, and well, I don't know if we told him that, but our plan was to get in contact with the guild and try to get them to stop doing that. And we spoke to their representative, who kind of said, "Yeah, I'll pass the message along," but we don't think he's actually gonna. We don't think they're gonna do anything about it. So we're gonna think of other ways to address this. Then there was the Moriad guy, soldier, who wanted to be hired on as a captain or a lieutenant of something as one of our infantry armies. Everyone liked that a lot, and so we're probably going to hire him, but Serena told him to hang out with the men just to make sure they get along and stuff. So I don't think we committed to that, but it's very strong likelihood that we're going to hire him on. And then the last guy was some merchant dude who wanted to buy his son a knighthood, and Lord Tannen in particular was very unhappy about that. And so we said we were gonna lead him on or something and keep an eye on him, but we're not actually gonna do it.
Excellent, very precise, great details. Go ahead and take an extra inspiration on top of the one you already get from doing your write-up. So yeah, great job. All right, folks, if there's nothing else anybody wants to add, I will add just some very other... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and add that I believe it was last session anyway, but we were told not to trust the new religion, which I believe was Boss or something like either of Boss or in the city of Boss. My apologies. I had a character named Boss before, so that's why Boss rings a bell. But anyway, yeah, not to trust not to trust the new religion.
Yes, very good addition there. So adding a little bit of additional details onto that. You guys previously, through a briefing, had learned of a new potential religious organization that had arrived in Riverford, and that the ethnicity of those that arrived were the Voss people, who are from the far northeast of Cerilia, so very far away from here. So that, of course, is kind of odd. They arrived, and there wasn't a whole lot known about them. They haven't caused you any trouble so far. But yes, more recently, Blixel was visited by a bird who seemed to be able to speak and try to speak to him in very covert, kind of coded ways. But I don't think Blixel necessarily caught on immediately to that. So there's a little bit of a communication issue there. But the bird did say, not to use any names and did not trust this new group. And Blixel then relayed that information to the rest of the council. So yeah, you guys are informed about that. Okay, guys. So that's yeah. Go ahead.
No, and also we got approached by a young lady in the last 5 minutes of our session last time. A young woman, just like a farmer.
You did indeed. Yes. Does anybody remember what was happening right before she approached?
Got caught in a blizzard.
Boom, there you go. That's what I was looking for. Yes, you guys are indeed caught in a blizzard. As it is nighttime, essentially, it's just descended on you guys. This blizzard has hit. It is covering the area with snow. And yes, this young lady has approached you guys in the road and met your expedition. So yeah, that's great details. We kind of bounced around a little bit there, but that's excellent. Keeping you guys given that additional information. As far as anything else critical, I think you guys covered most of the highlights from last session, so that's awesome. And yes, I would just mention as a real quick reminder that you guys are currently in transit between the capital city of Cariele, Carolinian, over to the capital city of Thosone, Sunderland, as you are in transit to attend a wedding between two nobles inside of Thosone. And you guys are currently at the end of your second day of travel, and that's when this blizzard hits and when this young lady approached you. So just as a reminder, you're currently with an expedition of folks. So these are a lot of different retainers that are in service to your nation and are assisting you here. You can think of these as some guards, some porters that carry things. There's some folks who might be pretty good at hunting so they can get supplies in the woods. There are servants. There are folks who are knowledgeable about decorum and some other etiquette kind of things. And so this is, your group of approximately 20 people in total. And then additionally, of course, all of you as you guys are making this trip. All right, yeah, so why don't we go ahead and pick up there, folks. I'm going to go ahead and deal everybody a card. Take a moment to review your card and let me know if you have any questions. I think almost all of the cards have come up at least once now, so I think everybody knows them so far, but obviously if anything odd pops up, definitely let me know. All right, so you guys see on our map there the path that you're taking, and I think what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and throw our token marker that represents where you actually are on the map. We've been using mostly the region map, but for this one, because we're kind of going a little bit out of the region, we're using a slightly different map that's a wider scale. So we'll go ahead and move the party token. So you guys have traveled for about 2 days, and you are currently approximately in that area. So yes, it is later in the day, so you can think of it as being somewhere around 5 p.m. perhaps. The sun has already started to descend. It is the winter months. This blizzard is descending around you all. It is very uncomfortable. The tents have been set up pretty quickly. You guys have a lot of these sort of fur-lined tents. So your entire expedition has room to get inside of a tent and be at least somewhat warm. You notice that there are a couple of guards kind of taking turns, being a little bit out of the tent. That's sort of the plan. You could have been informed of this. However, this young woman approached from further up the road, and the sort of communication goes through the expedition all the way back to you all, letting you know that this young woman has arrived, and sort of a what would you like us to do to her? Send her away? Do you want to speak with her?
We're in the middle of a blizzard. Where's her family? How old is she?
And one of the guards looks at you and he says, "Do you want me to ask her that and then bring that message back to you?"
Yeah. Wait, where's her family? Is she lost, or
Well-
what's her situation?
I mean, is she a young adult or is she a child? I mean, maybe not ask a lady her name if she's like, an adult person or something. I hear they're kind of finicky about that crap.
About their name? We can ask her name.
No, her age. He was asking her age.
Oh.
Maybe we should do general terms. I mean, I don't want to get on her bad side if she's an older person. I don't know.
I just think the guard should ask more questions and come here with more
I
information.
agree.
Yes, of course. Let me go speak with her and see what information I can get. I'll be right back. And you see he kind of like walks off a little bit of like a slower pace and kind of moving side to side. Maybe you get the impression he's a little bit out of his element here. Who would like to make our first roll today? I just need someone to roll me a d20.
I'll do it.
So confident. You suck.
All right. So that
good
doesn't spend too much time. Perhaps 3 minutes or so pass as you guys are kind of all standing around. I'm picturing you guys kind of like clustered together, maybe putting your hands together and trying to breathe some hot air into them through your gloves, because the temperature has certainly dropped as we're later in the day, and it continues to drop, and more of this snow just starts to gather on your shoulders, on your feet, and just stick to your armor and your clothing. You notice that same guard, however, does indeed return, and he looks to you all and he says, she's pretty young, and she said something about her brother being lost and she needs help.
No, that's better. Well, of course we'll talk to her.
Do you want me to send her back here, or do you want to follow me out to her?
Let's follow. Well, we should bring her in
Yeah.
from the cold.
Yeah. Send her this way if she's cold. Well, you can talk to her inside the tent.
Oh, okay, I'll bring her right to you.
Thank you.
He gives you a nod as he makes his way back. Based on that, I assume you guys all kind of bundle inside the tent, maybe have the flap open, just kind of waiting so he knows where you're at, but you're pretty sure he knows where you're at since he just spoke with you. But sure enough, just moments later, the young woman is escorted inside of the tent. You notice the guard stays outside and just kind of, straps the flaps so it's a sealed tent. As she steps through, you notice she is indeed a younger woman. You would place her perhaps somewhere in her teenage years. You notice as she comes through here, she's a little bit more bundled up than this picture might present, but she is certainly not dressed for really heavy cold. So you assume she is fairly cold, but as she gets in, you can see her kind of chattering or chittering a bit from the cold, kind of, shaking and so forth. And you see she looks at you all and she says, "Oh, are you the people who are in charge here? I really need help. My brother, he was just here and I lost him and I can't find him. And with this blizzard, it's so cold and he's not going to last. I need help tracking him down."
Adam, in the tent, do we have anything like an extra blanket or an extra coat or anything like that we could help her get warmer?
I would say it's fair to assume you have some extra blankets or just blankets lying around. You could certainly throw one around her.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that. Here, Lass, let me give you this here. You definitely got yourself a chill here.
And you see she takes the blanket as you wrap it around her tabard. She seems to be appreciative, but then you notice her face really goes quite shocked right after that. And she says, he doesn't have anything like this, and he's so small. He's got to be freezing.
Okay, wait a minute. So we will help. I'm assuming of course we'll help. But what are you doing out here in the blizzard? Are your parents around? How old is your brother? Is he younger than you? Older than you?
He's much younger than me. I'm Trianth Brown. My family owns a farm close by here. We were just kind of, after we did our duties for the day, we sometimes just walk through the area. We see if we see anything out of the interest, kind of just walking the perimeter of our lands. It's something we've done many times in the past. And he said he spotted horses through the woods, but there's no horses in this area. There's no wild horses, so there would only be horses on the road, and he really likes horses, especially the old man back at the farm. He really likes the horse, but I told him, no, there's not horses there, and he just needs to stay here, and we'll go back pretty soon. But then as I looked around for him later, I couldn't find him. He snuck away from me. I don't know when he left. He left.
Do you know where you last saw him? Is it far from where we are right now?
No. It's like maybe 100 feet up the road. That's why as soon as I realized he wasn't there, I looked around quickly and then I spotted your procession here, and I came as quickly as I could.
We should hurry then before the snowfall conceals any tracks left behind. How long ago did you lose him?
20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. I don't know.
Adam, does she look genuinely scared for her younger brother?
Give me a
Or
blind
sense?
check. See, do we have your tokens on this map? I don't think we do we? Go ahead and drag your token onto this map over on the far right side, and then throw me a blind check. Yes, Gordon, I would say that you are quite confident that she is being earnest with you and she is terrified.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, just show us where we'll take it from there. We're not from here though, just so you know. We don't know this land.
I understand, but I'm desperate. He can't be out too long. He's too small. He's not going to survive. It's getting very, very cold.
What's his name so that we can yell it so that he knows we're friendly?
Cullen. His name is Cullen. Cullen Brown.
Colin. Okay.
Yes, please follow me. You see she still has the blanket wrapped around her as she carefully undoes the flap and then steps through and moves fairly quick pace running to the north.
Give chase.
Gonna follow. Yep.
All right, as you're doing so, you notice a woman from your own expedition, very much bundled up. You spotted her once or twice before. You kind of get the impression she's almost like an assistant. She's been kind of handling some of the details, some of the, the numbers and talking with folks and organization, that kind of stuff. She's so bundled up, you can't even really see her well, though. But she calls out as you're leaving. She says, "Oh, what are you leaving? Are you going to be back soon? Do you need the guards?"
Actually, we need to make sure that we have the right clothing on, Adam. Are we properly? Should we get I don't know what we're wearing right now, but if we have the clothes, we need to make sure we have warm clothes on before we leave.
So what I would say is, because it is winter time and you guys came in the procession and they came equipped with most of the things you need, you can assume you're all wearing cold weather gear at this moment.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna yell. Yeah, we need. There's a young boy missing, and if we've got any, we need some of the hunters or trackers to help us find this young man. He's younger than this lass here.
Oh, okay. Let me go get them. I'll see. I'll try to get them ready to go. We'll meet you there shortly. All right. You notice Trianth running to the north. She goes maybe 150 feet or so before you guys, catch up to her pretty quick. She's not like super fast, so obviously if you're trying to race her, you'd beat her. But by the time you guys get there, you see she looks to the ground and says, "It was right around here. See over there." You see she points to the east. Just only maybe 300 or 400 feet. That's where our farmland is. That's right at the edge. And it was right over around this area where I lost him. I looked this way. He must have come this way because he didn't go back towards the farm. I would have seen him. It's all flat, but he through the woods here. I didn't see. So he's got to be somewhere here. Is where he was.
Okay, and I don't know how to. Does she look human to me, Adam?
Trianth, the young woman, yes.
Yeah. So your brother, I don't know how to say this, but I want to try to use locate creature, and it says describe or name a creature is familiar to you. So I can describe a human, and I would know where they are within 30 feet at 1,000 feet of me.
So describe or name a creature that is familiar to you. So that would tell me it's like an individual. So you can't say like a human, and then that would go to a specific human that you want.
Oh, because I remember trying to find Stinky, and I mentioned Stinky, and I just got a bunch of bears in the area.
Yes, right. Because I think your character wasn't familiar with Stinky, right?
No, I the same thing with Dian. I did it with Dian to try to like find Stinky, and I had this. I think this is a spell I use, and I remember that part of it was like if I just like I want a bird named Brian, and well, there's a bunch of birds around, but so describe or name. So describe a creature that's familiar. Oh, I guess so. It has to be familiar to me in general. Okay,
Yeah, you've
right.
never seen him.
Right.
Okay,
So you could say a young boy, right? You could say a young boy, but that wouldn't really do much because you're not familiar with all young. Well, I hope you're not, right? But you wouldn't be familiar with that specific dude, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I want to make sure I'm using my spells right. Cool. Thanks.
Maybe if she had some kind of like identifying like picture or locket. I don't know if that exists in this world at this stage, but
Something magical or something that would like give you familiarity with him. Something like that might be possible, but you're pretty sure this young farmer lady doesn't have that.
you never know. Appearances can be deceiving.
All
That's
right.
true. You don't know what's under
Conventional
that hat.
Or those
All right.
belts.
Conventional means, boys. I can't help with my magic, so.
Hey, Adam, where are our horses? Are they like tied together in a certain area? Or are they kind of just around camp or?
So on this expedition, I would say you guys only have like 2 horses. They're not really for you. They're for the scouts in your group to kind of scout ahead and scout back. Primarily, your expedition's moving by foot. So at the moment, you can assume the 2 horses are hobbled back at your expedition, like more towards the rear of your expedition.
Yeah, I'm only wondering because she said that he was very interested in horses, so I wasn't sure if maybe we could, while we're walking to the spot or whatever, check where the horses are to see if maybe the boy wandered over that area.
You sure could do that if you wished, yeah.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that.
All right, so you make your way essentially back the way you just were, making your way back to the expedition, and you start looking over towards the horses. You notice that assistant woman has indeed gathered a couple of the rangers, and she's kind of running off to the way that you just came from, Taver. She doesn't seem to notice that you're back, but you make your way over towards the horses. Go ahead and throw me a blind check, Taver. Again, you'll have to drag your token on the map on the right there. With all the snow that's coming down in the blizzard right now, it's kind of smacking into you. You don't see any signs of the child. You don't see any obvious signs of like little footprints or anything like that.
Is there a couple? I'm going to imagine there's a couple people around me.
In their tents, most people have retreated inside their tents except for these 2 rangers and the women who are running off to the north.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just poke into one of the tents, and I'm going to say, and I'm going to mention, hey, this lost boy is he likes horses, so if somebody can keep on looking around the horses to make sure that he doesn't wander his way over here. Somebody needs to keep an eye out there just in case. Maybe he walks in this general area.
You notice the tent you open, and you say that there's a younger man, maybe in his late 20s, and he looks up at you and he says, "Oh, I just took off all of my..." And then he stops and he realizes that it's you. "Oh, yes, counselor, I'll get right on that. Let me get out there."
All right, sounds good. Gold coin if you find the kid.
He seems to move a little quicker even as he starts pulling all of his clothing back on, his heavy, cold weather gear.
All right, I'm going to use my super monk speed to get back to my group as soon as possible.
Okay, so before you make it back, the woman and the couple of rangers do make it to the full group here. So the rest of you, aside from Tavard, Trianth still seems to be very distraught, and she's looking around for any signs of hope that you guys have. Is there anything you're doing before the rangers and the woman arrive?
Blix will just call out Cullen's name and see if he gets any answer, like yelling.
You yell as loud as you can into the blizzard, but you hear no response.
I'll light a coin or something to. I know it's going to be hard to see in the blizzard, but anything's better than nothing, right? Maybe he'll see a strip of light or something through the downfall and understand that there might be people nearby. And
all right, so you're casting this on a coin anyway. And then kind of waving it over your head?
Yeah.
I have it going on my shield if it's dark.
Oh, you've already got... Okay.
And remember, it's not full dark yet. It is getting closer to dark, but you can think of it as more like, dusk, right? So the sun's still up. You're still getting some light. So a light right now won't stick out amazingly, but it certainly helps, brighten up your area.
Hey, Trianth, where's your farm? What direction? Do you think you went home? I'm sure you guys are trained to go home, but he knows where home is, right?
He knows where home is, but he didn't go that way. I would have saw him. I looked that way to make sure. I mean, it's a good walk to get there, and he's little. He couldn't have got there before I saw him. He must be gone the other way. Maybe he went west. Like I said, he saw horses. I don't know what he saw, but he saw something.
All right, let's go that way then. I'll see if there's any tracks.
Okay, Blixel, go ahead and throw me a blind check. See if you can find any tracks.
And Adam, just let me know when I get there, kind of thing. I know this here would have happened first, but just to keep me on track of what's going on.
Blixel, with that roll, you do indeed find some very small tracks, and it seems to match exactly what you would expect from a child's footprint. You're kind of surprised that you even see these, and you notice little flakes of snow and things have started to gather in them, but you can certainly make out a path heading across the road into the forest on the west side of the road.
Tracks over here, guys.
Holy man, good job. How'd you find those? They're so tiny.
Sometimes you just focus.
However, you arrive at that point.
All right, I'm going to help them. I'm going to help follow those tracks they're finding.
Okay, so yeah. Blixel, you found the tracks. You're leading the group off to the west.
Are the rangers here with us yet?
They are, the woman and the two rangers, and she says, we shouldn't probably all go that way just in case, right? Maybe I'll send the rangers back to the farmhouse and just confirm that he didn't get there.
Yeah, we should fan out and search the area. It's a small child. He can't have gotten too far. But a lot
until he polymorphs into a T-Rex, right? We all know what's happening.
But no one goes off alone. Everyone goes at least with a pair. Buddy system.
And you notice the woman assistant nods, says, Okay, Rangers, head back that way. She said that her farmhouse is there. See if you know anything unusual, and then just check in with the family, and then come back to the camp. I'm gonna head back to the camp and make sure everyone still is doing okay, and there's no other issues going on there. But then we'll just be in this area, the three of us, and make sure we can try to keep eyes in that direction. And if you need us, of course, just come back. We'll walk the road up and down after that, and just confirm we don't find anything else.
Sounds good. Trianth, you with me. Stay close.
She looks towards you again, pulling that blanket as close as she can. It's just, oh, okay, yes, let's go. All right, so you guys start following these tracks, and you follow them for a good, I would say, 200 feet or so before you find yourself getting into a area of the forest that looks just maybe a little bit more distinctive, meaning I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys on a map.
And we're gonna have a map. Here we go.
Blixel's nat 20. Sped this up a little bit.
All right, the snow is continuing to come down. It is
Oh.
quite cold. Trianth will be close by you, Gordon. I wasn't sure if I was going to need a token for her, but I'll whip one up real quick, but you can assume she's with you momentarily.
I mean, she's
Yeah,
not an enemy, boys.
I was only doing that to make sure we don't lose her too. So I
Yeah.
don't want her next to me, but she needs to be with an eye. I'll be looking for her, keep an eyesight on her. That's all I'm saying.
She could convince the kid that we're good too, you know?
Yeah, and obviously you guys already know this, but I'll just keep in mind that, if there's dangers here and she's nearby, keep that in mind.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go up front because that's what monks do.
Yeah, I think his tracks went somewhere around here.
Yeah, can we still see the tracks, or are they lost in the foliage?
Let's find out. Blixel, you're following them. Go ahead and give me another blind check. Yeah, it's hard to see. They kind of come this way, but with the snow that has fallen, you lose sight of them pretty quickly. You can't see the tracks based on the amount of snow that is collected on the ground on top now.
I'll yell out his name again.
Once again, you hear no response.
Are there any horse tracks in the area? Those seem to be easier to find.
Go ahead and give me a blind check there, Gordon. You do find some very large tracks. They don't exactly resemble a horse, however. I would say, based on what you can see here, these resemble very large deer tracks, like abnormally large deer tracks.
I'll let the group know that. In which direction are they heading?
From the south and going to the north.
I'll communicate that as well.
Well, if the child mistook them for a horse, he may be following them, so that's the most sensible bearing, I think.
A giant deer? Don't get gored.
And Adam, less things for you to do. I can move Trayanth.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Let me go ahead and give you control of her. All right, you
How
should
many
be able to
warlock
move her.
spells does she have?
Holy crap, guys! She got 152 hit points. We're fucked.
Nice.
All right, as you continue pushing forward, Blixel, since you're in the lead, please throw me a d6. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys into initiative. And throw me also, Blixel, a 1d4. Whoops, somehow I got Serena accidentally clicked in there. Okay, let me go ahead and get these sorted. Okay, so you guys are making your way through the woods, doing the best you can to sort of follow these tracks. I'm doing a quick perception check. So, Tavard, you're the only one that notices something at this point. So, Celine, it is your turn. You haven't spotted anything out of the ordinary. You're kind of just following the path. Feel free to do what you think would make the most sense.
It's my turn at
Yes.
count 5? Okay.
No, I got you at 22.1. Oh, you're in here twice. Oh, you know what? I bet you it didn't reset the last ones. Let me just clear that out real quick. Thanks for pointing that out. That was interesting. Okay, so let's see, 14.25. Blixel should have an 8.0. Yep, so I got to remove that Blixel.
Yeah. Then Celine, then the girl. And then
Yes.
good old Gordon with a nat 1.
All right, so in that case, before even Tavard's turn, Blixel, roll me another D4, please. Okay, Tavard, as you're making your way following Blixel as best you can, the area that you're standing in right now, you're not mechanically surprised, but you're, kind of surprised as the tree next to you suddenly starts moving. As it does so, it is going to attempt to smash down with its trunk. Basically, its whole trunk kind of like slamming down upon you. I need you to give me a defense roll, please.
Darn tree's alive!
It's a big token. I can only see part of it, but
This tree smashes into you, Tavard, hitting you for 12 points of bludgeoning damage. Tavard, it is then your turn, at which point I will say you spotted this tree moving like at the corner of your eye. You also spot that there are other trees that are seemingly moving. One is to your immediate north, one is to your west, and one is to your southwest.
Can I move my tokens to see what you're talking? I can't see anything other than the one to my right. And if you're saying there's one to my immediate north, is that like 5 feet from me kind of north? Or
No. It's
immediate. Oh, okay.
I don't want to reveal them exactly because nobody else knows where they are yet. So, but I'm giving you those details. The one's to your northwest, one's to your west, one's to your southwest. None are like right on top of you.
All right. And just to let you know, I did take the minus. Since I'm a dwarf, I took half for bludgeoning, and then I'm
Yes.
going to go ahead and also heal myself 3 points because I just took damage, and it's now my turn. I just wanted to explain what was going on because that's one of my features from my defensive monk there. On my turn, if I took damage prior to my turn, I can get my proficiency bonus of hit points back.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
I'm just explaining this because in case it looks strange, me moving my health point back and forth, kind of thing.
Oh no,
So
I trust you.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, needless to say, let's go ahead and see what patient defense does, right? So,
you can set yourself back to public, but that will hit.
Oh, I didn't mean to. I mean, I didn't mean to hit, but I was trying to do patient defense. Sorry,
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm okay with you erasing that 27 roll. I'm just doing patient defense.
All right. And that one there was my unarmed strike anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and use, so that's my bonus action. I'm going to go ahead and hit this thing with my Warhammer.
Okay. Yep, go ahead and set yourself back to public, but we'll take that 27.
Yeah, both of them, right?
Where are these rolls when we do our domain actions?
Well, you should ask me to roll when you need a good roll.
Well, of course.
Just kidding, right?
Who else would I go for?
Yeah.
Dwarf
You're
attacks
next for sure.
twice. All
Nice.
right, yeah, you smash into this tree, damaging it twice.
Boys, we've got a few living trees around us.
Blixel, before your turn, the tree to your northeast starts moving more significantly, and it is going to try to slam down into you. Blixel, I need a defense roll.
Okay. I am going to spend telekinetic parry on this.
Okay, go ahead and post that. Okay, so you spend that spell slot, getting advantage on your defense roll. Go ahead and post that. Unfortunately, this is still going to hit as the massive tree trunk slams down on top of you for 14 points of damage.
Oh. I look for little boy bits in their tree trunks.
Just passively, or do you want to spend your action doing that?
No. Oh, is it my turn?
It is, yeah.
No. I won't spend my turn doing that, but I will start swinging or piercing at it with the mocking blade.
Yes,
Okay.
that indeed will pierce it.
All right, I'm going to make it a defensive flourish. So I guess I'll just roll Bardic Inspiration. Okay.
All right, so that's going to hit for 12 piercing then, right? Because that gets added to the or no, that's the defensive one.
That gets added to it, and I get 5 to my AC.
Oh, okay, so it's 12 total damage.
Yep, 12 on that one.
All right, you successfully pierce the tree.
Okay, and then seeing that it doesn't really damage it all that much, he is going to use extra attack, and this time throw in a smite, a second level smite on it. Oh.
All right, so no smite has been spent, and that is just a miss.
Okay, and then since he attacked it, he will use his bonus action to do Vicious Mockery, I guess, and see if Psychic Damage does anything.
That is Wisdom and a spell effect roll of 12. It does not affect the creature.
I've met my match! And he's going to encircle here, try to get closer to Tavern. That's the end of his turn.
Hey,
Oh.
Adam, just real quick, a question. Are these considered large or gigantic, or what size frame are they?
These creatures are huge.
Okay, thanks.
You're
Sure
telling
thing.
me.
All right, before Celine's turn, Blixil, you notice a tree to your south begins to move. And it is also going to try to smash you, Blixil. I need another defense roll.
Okay. And I have +5 to this.
+5, okay. So a 25, yes, you manage to dodge out of the way as the trunk slams into the ground, leaving a small crater. Celine, your turn.
Saline is immediately concerned for the child, both of them actually. I think it's a bad idea to start ripping fireballs when we don't know where the kid is.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, well, there goes that, right?
No, I'm not gonna kill a kid intentionally in game this time.
Fire is a
So
good
many
idea.
qualifiers there. This time in game.
Well, sometimes I have a really hard day at work, and I just want to. Anyway, do I detect movement anywhere nearby me? Would that be like a full action?
Based on your passive perception, yes, there is a tree right next to you to your west.
Awesome. Then, seeing that, I think she has her immediate goal is to reposition and try to get out of here. So I am going to disengage on this turn, and then start moving. What's this to my
That is a
right? I see,
raised
like,
ridge.
around? Okay. So we're disengaging, and we are backing up. So 5, 10. The kid's fine. She's way back there. 20. I'll just tell her to back off. I know Gordon controls her, but trees are moving. You ever seen something like this? This is 20, and then I'll go here. Is this like a boulder, or what's this?
That is a big tree.
Is it a big moving tree?
Doesn't look like it's moving.
Not yet. Until we start doing too well in this fight, and then another tree pops up. Okay. Yeah, I will, because that's my action. I guess, just to be safe, because she doesn't know how many there are, I am going to use my bonus action to cast Sanctuary on the little girl. So, to protect her in case there is another tree that comes this way. But I still want her to run away.
Yeah, I have a planned command for her after your turn.
So that is on her. And then I will end my turn.
All right. Now, before her turn, Adam, I was going to not break the flow, but I'm going to tell her. I was actually going to do Sanctuary too, so good call. Trianth, these trees are attacking us. We'll find your brother. Get back to the caravan as fast as you can right now. I assume we haven't traveled that far where she could get lost, right, Adam?
You're about 200 feet off the road. You don't think she'd be able to get lost.
Yeah, it's get out of here. We'll get your brother. Just tell the caravan that we're under attack by trees. Bye.
All right, so with that, she will move as quickly as she can off to the east and effectively off map. Oh, sorry, there was one other thing I wanted to mention to you guys on this map. You may have noticed this yellow bit on the east side of the map. That's the edge. I don't want you going across that. And the reason I did that is that in this map, I did not block it where you can. I didn't set it where you can't move through dynamic lighting barriers, because if you want to push through a tree's limbs, you could do that, considering it as difficult terrain. So that's why I didn't lock it. So FYI, hopefully that makes sense. But you can push through limbs if you want as difficult terrain.
Perfect.
I just
Thank
thought
you.
it was yellow snow.
That deer tracks.
All right, then from here on my turn now, because I think her turn's done. I do see a token over here, so I'm gonna hit it with Toll the Dead.
All right, and I'm sorry, which one was that aimed at? Straight ahead. Okay. Ooh, that's going to be a spell fumble.
Not with inspiration. I already have 2, so I might as well burn one.
Okay, go ahead and
Mine
burn
is
an inspiration.
Money bags over here.
That becomes a 22. That will be a success. Go ahead and throw your damage.
Nice.
Is that wounded, Adam?
It is indeed, yes.
Yes.
I have a new ability at level 8 too, so a cantrip hits, I add 1d8 radiant. So this is 2d12, 1d8.
Necrotic
All
and
right.
radiant.
Yeah, I was just going to say, with that, is there any kind of cool visual effect anybody notices about this twin necrotic radiant energy?
Except the horrible dice rolls. I know it's weird. It's like this mix of green energy above it kind of seeps into his bones, and at the end, it's kind of this bathing of light that's beautiful to our eyes, but it burns bad guys.
Okay, 6 points of damage.
I feel like Total Dead never hits hard. It's funny.
It's very swingy.
Okay. All right. I probably use a lot of words, but are we retreating, Saline?
No, but there's a tree right over there that's getting up, and she points to the one that was next to her. I think it was this one.
Oh, I see. Okay, good call.
So I was retreating a little bit, but not all the way.
All right.
There's a lot of them.
All right, so that was the end of that turn. So before the end of the round, indeed, that tree does come to life, so to speak, and it starts moving slowly. As it does so, you notice its trunk croaking and groaning as it moves and picks its feet, in quotation marks, up. As it moves to here, you're going to notice as it reaches some wood tendrils to the south of it, past these trees. You hear a sickly crunching sound as it comes up with a big chunk of dirt and rocks and chucks it right towards Saline. Saline, I need a defense roll, please.
You got it.
All right, noticing this,
Oh,
you manage to duck, and yes, that clump of dirt and rocks flies over your head. All right, we move to the top of the round with this one, and this one is currently engaged in battle with Tavern. Tavern, another defense roll as it tries to smash you. All right, you patient defense, so that's a 23.
Yep.
That will be a miss. And then it is your turn, Tavern.
All right, you say we can go through the trees as far as oh shoot, I don't want to leave poor Blixel. See, Blixel, let's regroup. And I'm trying to I'm not getting out so it doesn't get an attack, if that makes sense, out of it, just the squares, and so I'm going underneath to kind of get over this direction here.
All right, so far you haven't taken an action. I'm following.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and oh, surprise, patient defense.
I'm shocked.
I should just say ditto from now on. That's
Just PD.
all right. I'm gonna go ahead and we're just here to help a boy out. You should be nice trees.
Yes, that will indeed connect. Smashing into the trunk, walloping it hard. That second one, oh, you're attacking at advantage because of patient defense. Yes, that will hit as well. And that will be just enough to get it to fall to the ground.
Just trying to help a boy. You should be nice trees.
No response from the tree, shockingly, but this one will try to smash Blixel. Blixel, you managed to evade that attack. It is your turn.
Okay. Shoot. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna disengage. I hope these trees cannot run far. Even though there is one here. And then that is the end of my turn.
All right, this one is going to start moving. Crunching and crawling its way to there, and then try to smash you, Blixel. Yes, that will indeed connect. Slamming into you for 16 points of damage. Saline.
Well, if common didn't work, Saline knows a bunch of languages. This is a plant thing, so the best she's got is Sylvan. So she will try to say, "We don't mean to fight you, we're just looking for somebody." And then I'm going to fight him anyway. So seeing that he threw a dirt clod at me, that tells me I'm probably not within his reach. So I will... let me see what I've got. The tried and true negotiation tactic of saying we come in peace and then attacking.
Always works.
Oh yeah, you might.
Hey, I didn't attack, and they still chased me.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're friendly. So I will try to cast Toll the Dead since I saw that work. I can still see this one through the
Okay.
trees here, so that's the injured one. That I will go for that one. So
Okay,
roll
throw me a spell effect roll.
spell effect roll.
Yes, that will be effective, and that will totally kill the previously downed one.
Oh, that's right, it was down. Well, we're double tapping to make sure it doesn't get up.
Hey,
Here.
dude, it seems like that was a good call. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
You would have had to
make a-
rely on Bill not rolling a 1. I mean, come on, that's good odds.
Let me
Hey.
just roll a d20 to make myself feel better. Yeah, it was. Yeah, you go. Well, we try. And then I will back off a bit more. So 5, 10, 15, and I will not go off map as directed.
Thank you. All right, Gordon, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna move here, Adam. And I see 2 trees, enough that I want to bane them. So I'm gonna ask Sarah to curse these trees from attacking us.
All right, some snake eyes dice roll around in your head, but let's see if they're effective. We'll go top to bottom. And let's see, this is charisma. Okay, the first one's affected. Second one as well.
Okay, that's my action there. Burn the spell slot. I'm going to duck down here. And they are bane. So I'll remember, then I'll roll the d4, I guess, just part of my concentration, and I'll end my turn there.
Okay, sounds good. This one, now within reach of Blixel, is going to reach over this other tree and try to smash down upon him. Blixel, defense roll.
So it's is it a +2 then, Adam? How do you do that? With
Correct.
bane?
Yep. He would have a 16 defense roll, and I can tell you that still hits you, Blixel.
You know what? I'm going to use my card then.
All right, go ahead and throw your card. Okay, you spent the resistance boon card just before you or an ally are damaged. You're going to get resistance to this damage.
Nice.
All right, so you will take half of whatever is rolled here. Here it comes. So instead of 13, you will take 6 points. Blixel. This one is
All right.
totally down. And we move to Tabard's turn.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and, let's just go ahead and do patient defense first, since we know PD. Just in case somebody gets me and I'm not seeing them. And then I'm going to come down.
Okay, as you step to there, you will take an opportunity attack from the one northwest of Blixel. So I'll need a defense roll on that.
Okay.
Okay, it will certainly miss you.
All right, I'm going to come over here to stand in front of my friends. And then I'm going to hit this one twice. Well, I'm going to roll to hit it twice, and we'll see what happens, right? You know.
And it's an advantage, so if you miss, it's going to be really embarrassing, right?
Hey, I'm just saying, right? Yeah, it must be the snow. You never know. So, all right.
Yes, both of those will connect. Clobbering the tree.
Lucky I don't have a war axe there, Mr. Tree.
All right,
He does
this
kinda
one's
look like
going
a
to
lumberjack.
move. As it does so, Blixel, you will notice as it grabs a big chunk of dirt in the ground and then coming sailing over the top of the trees towards you is this big clump of dirt and rock. I'll need a defense roll. Yes, you managed to evade it. And it is
Nice.
your turn.
All right. Where's the guild when you need them? All right. I'm gonna try to stab this thing then in front of me.
Is that northwest or southwest?
This one.
Northwest, okay.
I'll do a second level smite.
Okay. Oof, nice declaration.
Nice.
All right, so when you roll this crit, because you declared a smite, and the smite's probably going to be more damage than your base weapon, you can roll a radiant crit if you like.
Sure.
Maximum amount of damage from your normal damage dice, then roll damage dice and add that result, and the creature is frightened until the end of its next turn. Nice. All right, so go ahead and post damage. We'll determine the maximum, and then we'll take what you rolled. So your maximum is 10, so that's going to be plus another 6. That's 16 for the base weapon. You said second level smite, so that would be 3d8. Maximum of that would be 24, plus 16 is 40, and then I need you to roll another 3d8.
Oof.
44. Oh, I can't believe that. I thought for sure this guy
complaining.
was dead. He literally only had 46 HP, just did 44. Almost one-shot him.
Oh my god.
All right.
And he's also frightened into the end of its next turn.
Yeah, I'd be too.
Right? Right.
Does Frighten give me advantage against him, or just he has disadvantage?
He has
or it?
disadvantage to hit you. And
All right,
he
well,
can't
I'm gonna
move
use-
closer to you.
I'm going to use extra attack to
All right.
attack him again.
That's going to miss.
And then
He's not frightened of you anymore, dude.
again, I'll use the Vicious Mockery as the bonus action.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to do it. Okay, that is enough damage to drop him. So he is on the ground. Clambers,
Just-
slams into the ground as the tree timbers down.
And can I scramble south of?
You
Yeah.
can, but count any space you're moving through that's like you can't really see it. Count it as difficult terrain. 'Cause that means you're pushing through tree limbs.
Okay, I'll still do that. So 10, 20. I can move through Tavard, right?
As difficult terrain since he's engaged, yes.
Okay, so 30 and then 35 to here.
Okay.
And that's the end of my turn.
All right, this one was just dropped by Blixel. Blixel, roll me a d20, please. Yes, he is down permanently. Saline.
Are they tall enough that I can see them and have line of sight without incurring cover penalties?
Yes.
Okay. Now that two of them are down, I'm a little more comfortable using fire. I was worried they was going to provoke them into dogpiling me again, and I was rather having my fill of being the main character during our last adventure, so... But now that we're pruning their numbers, I will throw a firebolt at the one I can see, which is the one
minus
to my
inspiration. But go ahead. Which one?
west. The one to my west, the one that I can see, the one next to Tavard there.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and throw that.
Oh. Sorry, it's going slow.
That's going to miss.
It sure is. And then we will continue moving, and I will get kind of here. And am I at the top of this ridge or at the bottom?
Right now
On this
you're at the
side.
bottom. If you climb to your like southwest, that would be ascending, getting to the top.
Okay. I'm just trying to get a little cover from any dirt clods, so I think then I will actually back off here and like hide behind this tree, whatever this is.
That is a tree. Yep, that'd give you a little bit of cover.
All right, we're gonna try to cover.
Okay, Gordon.
Is it alive?
Okay. The tree in front of Tavard's going to get a Toll the Dead.
Yes, that will affect it. The necrotic energy courses through it, as well as the radiant. Okay, this one. It's got its eyes on you, Blixel. It is going to try to smash down upon you. Defense roll. You managed to evade it. Tabard.
Nice.
That will hit.
Woohoo!
Smashing into the tree, wounding it. A 20 will also hit. For a glancing blow, wounding it a bit more.
I took off some branches. Next time it's going to be worse, tree guy.
Alrighty, this one continues moving to the south as best it can. Once it gets to here, it really only has a decent line of sight at you, Blixel, so it is going to throw a rock clod towards you. Defense roll, please.
And this guy is not baned, right?
He is not. No, this is going to smash into you as this rock dirt pile hits.
I'm going to play a card.
Okay, go ahead. Hey, that looks like a familiar card.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, resistance
welcome.
boon. So that will be 6
And
points of damage.
I
instead
think
of
it was
13.
a 13 damage on the last one,
I think
too.
it was too.
Mhm.
All right, we're working in patterns here today, folks. All right, that's its turn. Blixel.
These trees can't do anything to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, you should be a frontliner more often there, Blixel. Good job. Respect.
I'm low on health.
I was
But
gonna say he's brave for that little swidge of green I'm seeing.
I got a chance. I'm gonna do first level smite
Okay.
and attack.
Yes, that will connect. All right, 9 plus smite. That's going to be enough to take it down.
Well, you can sure handle wood, can't you?
Boom-ts.
Oh,
They call me the lumberjack. I will rush up here. And extra attack, another first level.
Okay.
Smite.
Yes, that will hit.
And I'm going to make that a defensive flourish as well.
Okay.
So just one.
Took 1
matter.
extra damage off.
Okay. And I guess as my bonus action, I'll do Vicious Mockery on it.
Okay. Yes, that will affect it. The psychic energy courses through the tree and wounds it.
Yeah, and I think it gives it disadvantage.
On its next attack.
Yep. Okay. That's the end of my turn. I'm like, you trees brought this upon yourselves. We're just looking for a boy.
Okay, Saline.
All right, we're going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Can I see? Is that the one that's still up? The one next to Blixel?
It is.
Okay. Well, we're gonna try the same thing. We're gonna firebolt him. Attempt to.
That's going to
We're gonna
miss.
miss again. I'll contribute next turn, I promise. And then I have 5 more feet. So I'll go there.
Okay, Gordon.
All right, 5. And I see this creature. Is that the one still moving?
It's not moving much. It's on the ground.
I point to my north.
This one's still up. Okay. That one's gonna see a Toll the Dead. So I'm just gonna do a spell effect roll.
Yes, that'll work. Okay, that is enough juice to take that one down.
All right, boys. Double tap time.
Okay, Blixel's kill. D20 Blixel. Okay, that one's good and gone. Tabard. And I'm actually going to say you're good to go because you can move and attack, and I can't imagine you're going to miss twice at advantage, so we were going to assume this one is down and dead as well. We are out of combat, folks.
No.
Blixel, you. Oh my goodness. What happened to you?
This, the, what do you mean? The
just
trees.
Just kidding. Come here. Here you go. I'm gonna give you a little something to help you feel better. There's 13. You did great.
Thank you.
Good job, Blixel.
I
Way
really
to step it up.
As these
Yes.
trees have been felled and you're looking around tending to some wounds, well, really just Blixel's wounds, but looking around, the snow continues to gather from this blizzard. It's miserable. It's pelting you in the face. It's covering your bodies. You just wonder, where in the world could this child be?
Exactly. Colin! We're here to save you. The trees are dead. You can come out. You're safe. Where are you?
I'm studying the trees to see if do my Celestis bestiary check.
Shockingly enough, you do not recognize these creatures, Saline.
Oh well. It's a new country. We've never been here before.
True,
And
yes.
it doesn't look like these could have made the giant deer tracks, right?
I would say you're quite confident, no.
I'm yelling his name as I'm walking at him, just to let you know.
Okay. And that's like a continued, repeated thing, Tabard?
Yeah.
Yep,
I'm
yep.
doing it too. Yeah. Colin!
Colin boy, your sister wants to bring you back home. We've got some horses to show you.
All
Hey,
right.
guys.
I'm going to go ahead and lock the tokens here momentarily. As you're calling that out, Tabard, please give me a blind check. You hear a faint voice from your east, you think, through the blizzard. It sounds very childish.
Gordon, shut up. I'm trying to hear the boy.
Which way?
Yeah.
Which way did Tavard go?
Hey,
Good question.
Hey, which way?
yeah, I'm to your north somewhere. I think I heard a child up in this area.
To the north.
Yeah, just keep coming. Hey, Colin, come on! Trying to find you!
As you
And
shouted
the
out this
tokens were
time,
locked!
as you shouted out this time, Tavern, you hear the voice a bit louder to your east, up that ridge. You think it's coming from that tree there. However, you also hear now a booming voice. This voice is so booming, it seems to rush at you in a concussive force from the north, and it rolls over you, actually unsteadying your feet for just a moment. And in this voice, you hear Elvish words. Do you happen to speak the Sheelan language here, Tavern?
Yeah, when I was in school, it wasn't taught.
All right. I'm assuming Blixel and Celine, you probably both speak Sheelan, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I have Elvish written down, but I
That's the
think
same.
that's
In
supposed
this
to be
world,
Sheila.
that's Sheelan. Yep. So the two of you will hear in a very loud, booming voice, "You are trespassing on our lands. Be gone or be destroyed."
It's a warning, Tavard. They want us to leave this place.
Give us the boy. We'll go.
Yeah, Blixa will call out in Sheelan. We seek a lost child. We only wish to return them to their family.
And Adam, I have no clue what they're saying, so I'm going to keep on going.
Okay.
Is there a way up here, or is that pretty easy for me to climb that area?
You could climb it. It doesn't look particularly difficult, but you notice a way around to your northeast.
Like just this way here?
Yep. Yeah. So that's essentially you climbed up the side there. Yep.
Okay. Hey, Colin boy, come on, we gotta go. Your sister's looking for you.
You hear very close to you now, Tavern. Who are you?
Well, my name is Tavern. I'm your friendly dwarf from this area here, and I was asked to bring you home.
Okay. I'm really cold. And you see he steps out of this cluster of tree.
I'm gonna. Does the idiot boy? I mean, excuse me. Does the poor child have a coat or anything like that, Adam?
He does, but not what you would call cold weather gear. You can see his face is already taken on this bit of blue tint to it, and you can see very chapped lips.
All right, I'm gonna give him mine, and I'm gonna say, "Here you go, boy. It's a little bit bigger, than what you're probably used to. But let's go ahead and get you home. Your sister's
Just
worried
grab
about."
him and run.
Yeah, but I got to get him warm first. I don't know. I don't know the other screaming stuff. You
We
guys
can
know
warm
that.
him later. Let's go.
Let's go.
Grab him and run.
Up. I'm being told we gotta go. We gotta getting. Let's
He
go.
holds his hands up for you to pick him up.
Yeah, grab him by the feet. I hang him aside. Okay, yeah. I'll go ahead and grab this young lad and getting.
All right.
I'm not
yes.
exactly sure what all the commotion is, since all the trees are already felled. But I'm going to grab this youngster and getting.
Yeah, he only weighs about 40 pounds, so you have no problem tucking him up, and yeah, moving on. Feel free to move. I'll move him off map knowing he is with you.
All right,
I got the youngster.
Once we see that start to happen, I'll beckon the team to back off. Looks
Okay,
like I know what's up.
Can we cross the yellow line now?
Nope, you can get to the yellow line, and if your intent is just to go back to the road, just let me know, and I will assume that's what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what
My
I'm
intent.
doing.
Yep.
Apologies. We are leaving now.
You're
In
calling
Elvish.
that out, and okay, yep, you call that out loudly, but you don't hear any immediate response. But yes, with Cullen in hand, you guys boot, scoot, and boogie back to the road. I'm gonna go ahead and take you guys back to the main map. Okay, yes, you make your way across the road back towards where your little expedition force is here. You can see off in the distance that woman and the two rangers are actually coming from the north, coming south. They're probably 100 yards or so away from you at the moment. Once you get to the expedition, you notice Trianth there, and you see her eyes are wide open. But once she spots Cullen, she seems very much relieved and sort of rushes up to him real quick and immediately just starts going towards him and pulling him as close as she can and saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my goodness, Cullen, I thought you were lost. Don't ever run away from me again." And you see there's this very much of a breakdown between them, and Cullen has this look on his face like you're pretty sure he might do this again sometime.
Not gonna be our problem though. We're gonna be gone.
Well, are those elves always here?
Trianth looks towards you and she says, "You saw elves?"
Well, we heard something.
I heard a
the
voice.
language.
My papa, he always said that sometimes people just end up dead. And he said it must be the elves. I never knew they were this close to our farm.
You're 200 feet from the road.
Yeah, the voice that we heard said basically they don't want anyone trespassing on their land right over there. So be pretty careful because it sounded like they were going to enact violence.
You see Cullen looks towards you and says, "But their horsies were so cool. They were really big and they had big horns."
Yeah, but they'll kill you, kid. They'll kill you real quick.
Well,
You notice-
young lad, just remember, just because they're pretty doesn't mean that they're yours. So you should leave these other horses alone.
You notice Trianth nod. He says, "That's what I told him too. Yes, Cullen, you got to listen. See, they know what they're talking about. Thank you so much, folks. I thank you. I have to get him home. I'm sure my parents are just absolutely wondering where we're at. I need to get back."
Do you want?
Okay.
I was going to ask, do you want us to start a fire or something here to warm him up a bit before you go? We can send a runner to your farm to let them know everyone's okay.
No, if it's okay if I take this blanket, I'm just gonna wrap him up and take him back. I am sure they're really scared.
Yeah.
Hey Adam, did they contact the farm? Did the girl and the rangers get to the farm and come back?
Moments later, you notice the woman does indeed come back with the rangers. You ask them that question, and she nods and she says that the father was panicking and he already has run out to the road and he was looking for him, but she told him not to cross the road because you guys are already checking that side. So, yes, she says they'll make sure that they connect.
Okay.
I'll
Well,
let 'em
I guess,
blanket, but I do get my jacket back.
You do,
So,
yes.
One of my favorite sayings in life. Well, boys, I guess we're going to heaven. What good
Hopefully-
deed.
Hopefully not for a while.
Oh, chalk that up in the good books. We did something good for like nothing.
You notice
Looks
Trianth
like-
bundles up poor little Cullen here and thanking you guys profusely once again. She makes her way off as you guys are thinking, or particularly Gordon's thinking of, that pathway to heaven.
Yeah, Blixel's just trying to get there quicker, it looks like.
Well, it's only reasonable. We're on a mission to make friends with these people.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good job. Good job. You're gonna be up front with me with Serena not feeling good today.
All right. I can dodge most attacks.
Me too.
Except for the ones by trees.
Hey, even those, I dodged most of them.
Yeah, he did. He dodged a bunch.
It's just the ones that hit me real hard.
All right, as you guys are kind of huddled around the front of your tent, you notice the woman, the assistant, comes back after everybody's kind of filled in on what has happened, and everybody takes this big sigh of relief. "Oh, the kid's okay. I'm so glad." And you see it kind of calms everybody down. You even notice some smiles on some of the guards and stuff, what you can see of their faces through the cold weather gear. The woman then motions towards your tent, and she says, "Oh, if you don't mind, I would like to just touch base with you real quick before you retire for the night and just kind of go over the itinerary for a couple of days. Is that all right?"
Sure.
You see she opens the flaps and steps in and holds the tent open so you can all enter your tent. Assuming you guys all enter, no one's waiting outside, she will then loop that back up. As she does, it's it's decently warm inside. By that I mean maybe 45 degrees. So you're still wearing attire, that kind of thing, just to stay warm. But you don't necessarily have to have total cold weather gear on. And sure enough, you'll notice she kind of undoes some of the stuff around her face, and then kind of smooths her hair out. You see, she kind of tugs her hair a bit straight, and she says, "Oh, well, it's we didn't get much of a chance to speak before. I don't think I even introduced myself, and I was assigned by Lord Tannen. I just wanted to give you a quick update. My name is Keela Ways. I will be acting as your assistant and your envoy on this mission, and anything you need, of course, you can let me know. I will try to make sure all of your needs are attended to. I'm pretty familiar with all of the expedition staff. So if there's anything that I can help with, please let me know."
Would you like a whiskey, Keela?
She smiles slightly and says, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. I never acquired a taste."
Oh, it helps keep you warm. Just letting you know.
She smiles again. She says, "Oh, I've heard some of them say that, but no, just cider for me or hot tea. But I'm fine. It's just this won't take too long, counselors."
Well, we just grateful that you decided to come out here with us, and so thank you. I mean, it's definitely not the best trip ever with all this darn wet crap coming from the sky.
You notice
Called
she
snow.
nods
Sorry.
towards you, Tavern. She says, I am so surprised they decided to have a wedding in the winter. Just seems so odd, but well, I'm happy to be here."
Perhaps it's more a wedding of convenience than love.
"Oh, I suppose anything's possible, but to that end, let me fill you in a few details. So this wedding that you're all attending, it is between Amelia Haysford of Nolian and Vernon Bells of Sunderland, two noble families within the realm of Thosone. So it should be a festive time. Have you attended many weddings of noble weddings like this?"
Can't
This will
say
be
I
the
have.
first.
The first? Oh, well, congratulations then. Well, let me just give you a brief idea of what's going to happen. Once we arrive there, these wedding feasts usually last 3 days. So the first day is mostly preparation of the food, getting everything ready, everybody kind of meeting one another. Sometimes there's little games and celebrations and that kind of thing, but it's really just a day for merriment. And then, of course, there will be the food that is eaten that day. And then everybody retires for the night. The next day is the actual ceremony where the couple will be wed. After they're wed, they come back to the manor house, and there will be many course meals laid out. Sometimes as many as 7 courses, but at least 4. You should expect quite a few treats as far as food and beverages are concerned. And from what I understand, they make quite a few sweets in Thosone. So don't be surprised if you have pies and tarts and pastries, candied fruits, wafers, those sorts of things. And then, of course, that night is the blessing of the nuptial bed. So the close friends and family of the couple, you won't be asked to attend this, but they take them to their wedding room, and then a priest there says a blessing, and they all celebrate, and then all of the guests leave the groom and the bride for their wedding night, of course. And then the next day is another day of merriment where everybody gets to greet the husband and wife officially, and then there's more feasting and, of course, more merriment. So that's the general gist of how things will go for these 3 days. Do you have any questions about any of the 3 days?
Is it frowned upon for people to discuss business and whatnot?
Officially, yes, but it always happens, Counselor, always. The recommendation is that when that needs to be done, you just go to a private room. You don't want to be discussing that kind of thing like in the main hall. The main hall is where everybody will be there eating and drinking and being merry. In that room, really, you should just be happy and, thanking the host and speaking about non-business kind of things, just anything friendly topics that you're interested in. But if there is somebody there that you wish to speak business with, you can invite them into another room, and of course, then you can speak as you wish.
Makes sense. Thank you.
So,
Yes,
sorry,
Counselor.
go ahead.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
well, I was
please.
going to say, we probably don't know a lot of people here. I'm not sure who you may or may not be familiar with, but is there someone that's going to help us with proper introductions and things like that? I mean, obviously, I know we're going to embarrass ourselves a little bit because we're kind of, not exactly used to this noble life or anything, but any assistance would be appreciated, right?
Oh, yes, I would be happy to help you in this endeavor, and you will not embarrass yourself at all. In fact, I will try to guide you through the entire process. And if you find yourself confused in any way, feel free to blame me, because you don't want them to think that you're not prepared. So just say, oh, our assistant didn't prepare that for us. And you can look and give me a stern look, and I'll put my head down. But that way they know it's not your fault, it's my fault.
Oh, I can't do that. I don't mind saying when I don't know. I don't like blaming other people. That's just not my thing.
Oh, no, no, please, you must. If it gets back to Lord Tannen that you looked bad and it was because of me, that would be atrocious. But if they know that it was my fault and not your fault, then it's no problem. I know it's probably strange, but yes, if there are any mistakes, feel free to blame me.
Okay.
All right, I guess.
Excellent, excellent. With that out of the way, then, to your point, Counselor, of the individuals of some prominence that might be interested in speaking to you, or you might be interested in speaking to them, I have compiled a little list of likely suspects. The individual who extended this invitation to you, one Mr. Wolf de Grey, I suspect he will be there to welcome you. He may wish to chat with you as well. As a reminder, he is a diplomat of Thosone, so he is part of the Thosone's court. If you have any questions about the nation or about relations the nation has with other nations or anything else about the ruler, anything polite conversation like that, of course you could speak to Mr. de Grey about those issues. But of people of note that have been invited, there are 3 guild masters. Each has various guild holdings in Thosone. They will all be there. I could give you their names if you're interested, but if you're not interested, that's not a problem.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, please.
Great! And you see she smiles, seeming very happy to go through as much detail and looking at her notes. The first one is Adair Danium. The second is Banier Andean, and the third is Galen Thuriad. Each one of them is a guild master of a different guild holding, a different company. I think I have those guild company names written down here as well. I'm sure you will find that of interest. Yes, here they are. So Mr. Danium, he's the guild master of Northern Imports and Exports. Mr. Andean, he is the guild master of Andean and Sons. And then Mr. Thuriad, of course, is the guildmaster of Upper and Weir Traders. Now, what I know about these guildmasters, just to give you a bit of background, is each one of them is not a fan of the others. So if you choose to meet with them, I would meet with them individually. You don't want to put them into a group, unless you're really good at playing people against each other. I suppose maybe that's would work, but yes, just so you're aware, they kind of all have a rivalry with one another. Lord Tannen did write a note down here. I'm afraid he was trying to get more information, and he didn't get it before I had to leave, so I'm afraid this information is kind of partial, but he did mention that one of the guild masters may be interested in selling off some of his guild holdings in Thosone for a reasonable price. So if you are interested in maybe acquiring some guild holdings in Thosone, and you're willing to expend some money to do so, that might be something to discuss. Maybe briefly touch about the idea, ask how they're doing, if they're looking to make any changes, that kind of thing. And then hopefully the one who's interested in selling would bring that up to you.
Okay.
That doesn't require any luck of dice rolling. I don't say that.
I figure not. Excellent. Do you have any questions on the guild masters before I turn to the 2 mages?
What was the third one's name again in his company?
Galen Thuriad, and he is the guild master of Upper and Weir Traders.
All right, thank you.
You are welcome. Moving on to the 2 mages then. Magic in Thosone is maybe a bit more pronounced than it is back in Cariele. There are actually 2 mages, both cousins of the Baroness and both source holders in Thosone. One is Clumine Thosone, and the other is Derek Thosone. Both are mages of some skill and, as I said, source holders, so they can cast realm magic in their lands. Neither one of them would I say is renowned, but they're capable, I suppose is a fair way of putting it. Unfortunately, the 2 of them also don't like each other. You might be detecting a pattern here. They are both cousins of the Baroness. They both, it is said, really care for the Baroness and are very close allies of hers, but they both think the other is misdirected and trying to get stuff over on the Baroness and make her see things their way. So they kind of are just against each other, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Excellent. Well, those are the 5 individuals that I know of prominence that are going to be there. I'm sure there will be some others that we just don't have notes on quite yet. Is there anybody in particular you want to make sure that I arrange a meeting for you? I can arrange those details as soon as we arrive in Sunderland, so you don't have to worry about those yourself.
Is the Baroness going to be there?
That is still up in the air, I'm afraid, Counselor. Some said that she would make a brief appearance, others said she would not.
No. In that case, I don't have any particular meeting I would want to take, but anyone else?
Well, I just think that we're very fortunate and very lucky to be invited to this area in Thelsone and go to the wedding. I think we're all a little surprised that we even got the invitation, so I'm looking forward to see why, really. I mean, it's really nice of them.
We're in the council. We're a big deal now.
But it's never... they've never been invited before, the prior council members, so it's kind of nice.
That is
It's
true.
probably an ulterior motive.
You are wise to suspect as such, Counselor. There certainly is. But has anybody filled you in on the most recent exchange between Cariele and Thosone before you came to be counselors?
No, actually. I'm the newest member, so maybe they know, but I don't.
Oh, no problem. I can certainly fill you in on that.
Okay.
Before the regent change in Cariele, when Entir Gladnil was still the regent, he was pushing strongly to try to marry the Baroness of Thosone. So he wanted to be a suitor, and he was trying to use all of his connections to make that happen and wed the 2 of them, unite the realms, and so forth. But the Baroness of Thosone had absolutely no interest in that whatsoever. And Entir Gladnil, the Count of Cariele, was very upset about that, and well, that created some friction between the 2 realms, but of course he's no longer in the picture, and so things are calmer now.
Huh. Do you guys... I think the story is that Intier ran... Do you know where he went, Kayla? Do you have any clue? Where do you think Intier ran off to after
This
the
way.
new thing?
That's the rumors I heard, that he actually fled to Thosone. I am sure he's not staying with the Baroness or as a guest of the Baroness or anything along those lines. It is said she really did not like him.
Yeah,
What sorts
that's the rumor I heard too.
What sorts of connections did he have in Thosone? He must have made some during his attempts to get closer to her.
She nods. Yes, he did indeed. I believe he was sort of cozying up to the guild masters that we discussed already. He was trying to create a wedge between the guilds in Cariele and the guilds in Thosone to try to, keep things on their toes, but he failed at that pretty early on and then just kind of became a figurehead, to be honest. So maybe he had some friends of those guild masters and was able to find some lodging that way.
Well, he's a weasel. I'll be real about it. And we want to avoid him if possible.
You see, she nods. I'm quite certain that he was not invited to the wedding, so I don't think you'll see him. Okay, excellent, counselors. Well, I just wanted to give you those details. If there's no one in particular that you wish to meet with, then I won't reach out to anyone. I wouldn't be surprised if they reach out to you. Some of them may, because, as you previously alluded to, at all of these celebrations, it's rare to get people from multiple realms all together in one room. So there always ends up being some business discussions on the side.
Sounds good, and thank you for that summary. It's very nice of you.
You see, she smiles. Oh, I'm happy to be of service. I shall take my leave now, but I hope the night goes by well and this blizzard ends so we have easier travels in the morning. Have a good night, counselors.
You as well.
All right, she'll take her leave from your tents, retying the flaps, and you'll hear her crunch through the snow out.
I'll take that whiskey.
Ah, nice. Here.
Oh, thanks.
And he pours him a glass of lukewarm dwarvish whiskey.
Perfect.
Yeah, I keep it next to the chamber pot. That's how it stays warm.
We have enough. What time is it right now?
Based on everything you guys have done, probably closer to like 7:30 in the evening.
Oh, so we got time for some Uno.
I'll take all your money.
All right, is there anything in particular you guys would like to do here in your tents other than just kind of unwind?
I would like to cast the spell.
Okay, what spell would you like to cast?
I'd like to cast Sending to the girl Trianth and say, "This is Gordon, who helped find your brother. Did you make it home, and is everyone safe?"
She responds, wow, this is weird. I didn't know that I'd actually be able to talk in my head to somebody else. Yes, we're home and we're safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right under 25 words.
I wasn't counting, but I'll trust him.
Yeah, it's close enough one way or the other.
Well, just spoke with Triumph and they made it home safe, so well done. Raise a glass. We did something good today. Did
Yeah,
I
we got
feel
some
good?
exercise.
Got some exercise. We saved the little boy. And, let's sleep well tonight. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. We're cashing in this event.
Okay. Just keep in mind, we're trying to make friends with them, though. We don't need any more enemies. So everybody be on your best behavior.
Well, why are you looking at me?
I'm just saying, don't piss off one of these guys to be friends with another one, all right?
All right.
All right. Tavard, are you okay looking like you do? How do they feel
I've
about
been
your
looking
kind
like
of
I
dwarf?
do for 40 years, buddy. I'm good.
Okay. I was wondering, they're cool with elves, though, aren't they?
I don't know about the other dwarves or anything, but my folks probably are not cool with elves. I would imagine, Adam. But you can tell me.
What exactly are you asking? Can you rephrase that?
Blixel was just asking if I'm good with elves, and I was just saying that probably my side of the dwarven nation and everything is probably. I'm assuming they're probably not friendly with the elves.
So what I would say is, historically speaking, dwarves and elves in this world aren't like hated enemies like they are in some other fantasy worlds. They have been here the longest. They kind of have like a, don't mess with us, we won't mess with you, but they, just kind of stay out of each other's way. However, because you are from the Mercaladian dwarves and they are under the thumb of the Gorgon, and they happen to be right on the borders of the Sealwood, your dwarves do tend to engage in war with the Sealwood elves, and sometimes also with the Twerheville elves. So yeah, I would say the elves don't typically like Mercaladian dwarves.
Yeah, and I've done my best to try to change my appearance and things to look like the other folks, but probably still got a little bit of the accent, right? So.
Someone who's knowledgeable would probably be able to tell you apart, yes.
Yep.
Okay. And how do they feel about elves in Thosone?
Ooh, does anybody remember the answer to that question?
Oh, she's a half elf, right?
And yeah, and her brother, some relative is
It's like a half brother.
yeah, either in charge in Twarhiaville or is pretty far up there. So they're trying to strengthen their relationship. There was something to the effect of they were like negotiating some kind of military exchange because the Gorgon or Markazor or something was being belligerent on Twarhiaville's borders.
Yes,
Right.
great additional info. I'll just add a couple notes there. So the Baroness of Thosone, she is the daughter of the old Baron of Thosone and the former Queen of Twerhiaville. So her half brother is the Prince of Twerhiaville. He's a full elf. She's a half elf. They generally have pretty good relations between Thosone and Twerhiaville because of that. And yes, there are, like, it is pretty much a known thing that there are elven soldiers within Thosone's borders, essentially on loan from Twerhiaville to protect Thosone.
Maybe that's who those voices were.
Could be. I hope we didn't just cause a diplomatic incident on our second day, but it was for a good cause. I'd do it again.
Yeah, it's only if like those trees were their cousins or something.
All right, if nothing else critical, then we will assume you guys spend a little bit of time winding down, maybe reading or drinking, whatever else you'd like to do, chatting. You will then wake up in the morning, which replenishes your short rests. Haha, got it before
Adam.
you said it. No, you can take a short rest.
Huh?
I said, no, it's fine. You can take a short rest before they come back.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask if
Okay.
we're going to do that. So, if you guys are you guys interested in taking a short rest?
Yes,
You don't need it?
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Adam. I was waiting to see if you had anything else before we hit the hay, so to speak. So, I'd like to play my card.
Yeah, feel free to just slap it down anywhere on the map. All right, you spent the relaxing rest card. You get to pick 2 of the short rest options.
I want 2 of the same.
Unfortunately, can't do that.
I always have to look, so let me punch through here.
And I don't really need the short rest, but I mean, I need the long. I'm taking the long rest anyway, so I can get my key back, but that's happening regardless. So.
Well, remember, this doesn't qualify as a long rest, but you get your key back
Oh,
on
yeah,
a
yeah,
short
yeah.
rest, so you're good.
That's right. That's right. Yep. Thanks.
And Blixel will play the Song of Rest too. So if anyone else is getting hit points back,
I think you're the only one that was hurt that entire battle, if I remember correctly.
okay.
I was hit, but
Delicious.
I didn't. I only took 3 points of damage in total by with all my stuff.
Oh, right,
so,
right. You got the scratch, and then Blixel got the smashed into the ground.
He stayed up this time. I'm proud of him.
He did.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I guess.
Well, those
I'll
two
just-
cards help me.
I guess I'll just take 1 spell slots then, because I have no need for the other 5.
Okay, fair enough. All right, I'll let you guys do your restoring. But you guys sleep through the night without any issue, waking up in the morning to find that the blizzard has ended. It is still a cold day. You guys are, I'm pulling up the calendar real quick. You guys are now on the 23rd of the month. It is a typical temperature day for this time of year. So you're looking about 34 degrees. There's a stronger wind today than there was yesterday, but it's significantly warmer. So even with the wind, which of course makes it feel colder, it still overall feels warmer today.
Nice.
All right, just updating our calendar there. So you guys imagine you have another full day of travel and then probably only a few hours the following day before you roll into Sunderland proper. So unless there's anything else you guys wish to do, I will assume your train starts a rolling.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, you guys travel for about 3 hours. When you guys are traveling, this doesn't necessarily have any massive impact, more for visualization purposes. Where would you like to be in the procession? Are you dead set in the middle with retainers on both sides? Are you in the front? Are you in the back? What are you guys thinking?
I'm in the middle.
Yeah, probably in the middle.
All right.
Go ahead.
Couple votes for middle. Is it something separate than middle?
Nope. We'll stay together.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd be up front, but I guess we would have guards, and I guess it would be more appropriate for me to be in the center with the rest of the group. So.
Okay, fair enough. So, yes, you guys are in the middle. You guys have been rolling forward for about 2 hours, a little bit more than 2 hours after you guys woke up, broke down the tents, ate a little bit of food, saw everybody, doing preparations, cleaning off your clothes, all that kind of fun stuff that goes into a travel like this. But after going for a little over 2 hours, your procession slowly comes to a stop as you hear your folks kind of calling, halt, halt, halt. And then as you're kind of all rolling to a stop, trying to figure out why everything's coming to a halt, you'll notice one of your rangers from behind, your 2 rangers, one kind of goes to the front and one goes behind, kind of just scouting in both directions to, check if anything's coming behind or anything's ahead of you all. The one coming from behind will make his way up to you all, and he will say, counselors, apologies for calling a halt, but as I was scouting behind, there was a gentleman that I spotted, and he kind of ran up to me, and I thought it was quite odd. But he asked, he said he ran into some bandits recently on the side of the road, and he just was hoping that he could travel with our group, safety in numbers and all that. What would you like me to tell him? He's about quarter of a mile back right now. I told him not to get any closer, and I would return and let him know.
Well, let's go meet him, and I want to see what is he wearing weapons? What does he look like?
He did have some weapons on him. I think I saw a hand axe at his side. He was wearing cold weather gear, but pretty puffy, so I'm assuming he had some armor under that as well, probably leather, studded leather, something like that. I think he also, he had a bow as well, and he was pretty bundled up.
No, I say we could entertain this idea. We could help someone on the road.
Do we want to disarm him?
Well, no, we just talk to him. We can just pop
Okay.
out right now. Talk to him before he gets in our wagon. I'm willing to do it.
Yeah, fine with me. I know how it is being on the road and everything. I was glad that's how I met Franco because I started. He allowed us to ride with him and his family.
Good old Franco. Well, pay it back, right?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, so you guys break away from the expedition and follow the ranger who's scouting to the south, and he walks you guys approximately quarter of a mile or so. Sure enough, you notice a gentleman standing in the road, kind of just like kicking at rocks. You notice he's kind of looks a little bit fidgety, but then he kind of looks up, notices you guys, and smooths his hands at his side and seems to be ready for you to approach.
Well, meet me halfway, brother. Come here. I'm gonna wave him up. We'll meet halfway.
Okay, sure. Once you wave him, he does indeed start approaching. As he gets a bit closer, you'll notice he pulls off some of his head covering stuff and does a little bit of a shake once again. You notice this kind of almost shake goes from his head all the way down to his feet. And he says, oh, it's not quite as cold as it was yesterday, but still a little bit of bite in the air. Am I right?
That's not too bad. So what's your story? You need some help, is what we heard.
Oh, that would be wonderful. The name's Thomas Sonson. I'm just traveling. I'm making my way from Rudwash, and I'm heading up to Sunderland, the capital. I ran into some looky-loo folks on the side of the road back there a ways. They kind of looked like bandits. They were like hiding and stuff, and I think they started chasing me. I'm pretty fast. I ran as quick as I could before I ran into your man there, but just really hoping, just really hoping that, put some distance between them, and I'm sure they're not going to think to do anything, big group that you've got.
You traveling alone?
Yes, it's usually not very dangerous. I don't know what's going on. Seems like there's been more activity on the roads lately. Maybe there's some kind of event or something.
So, again, where are you coming from and where are you going? How about that?
Oh, I'm coming from Rudwash, the province to the east of here, and you see he points to the east. And I'm just heading up to Sunderland, just going to the capital city, gotta do some purchases for the village and bring some stuff back, and just make sure that I am able to get there safely, of course.
I do a perception check around, just like kind of surreptitiously kind of look around, see if I can. Are we like in the woods right now?
No,
Or is
you're
it
on
like
this like main road. This is actually a truly built road, so it's like a decently wide and maintained road. So don't think of it as like concrete or anything like that, but solid dirt road. And you probably got trees, I'll say 30 feet on either side of the road.
I just want to look around a little surreptitiously, see if I notice any like movement in the trees while he's talking to us. Like, he just seems a little jittery to me, a little jumpy. Could be he's scared. Could be he's like baiting us to hang out here for his buddies to jump us. I don't necessarily trust him, so I'm just gonna try to see if I can spot anything untowards.
Yeah, go ahead and throw me a blind check. Looking out to the woods and both sides kind of carefully. No, you don't spot anything out of the ordinary. You don't see any people like gathered, anything like that. No.
So you say you're coming from Rudwash. Why didn't you just go straight into Sutherland? Are you lost?
Oh, no. Coming from southern Rudwash, so it's actually faster to go into Trade Beyond to hit the main road. Otherwise, you're going through like pretty thick forest to go from Rudwash to Sunderland. So it just makes more sense to hit this main road, and then the traveling's much easier.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little closer and say, you've never run into bandits before doing this trip to get supplies for your village.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna ping that. I'm gonna ping that now, Adam. That's my bait, to see if that's a lie.
You don't detect any deception, Gordon.
Okay, you can say. Go ahead there.
Would you be able to point out where you saw the bandits hiding?
It's I could. I mean, but it's about a half mile back. Do you have the time to spare?
Oh, so it's not forward ahead of where we're going?
No, no, no. No, it was behind us. So I came up the road. I didn't know you guys were ahead, but when I spotted them, I took off running, and then I ran into your man here, and I was like, "Hey, there's these bandits back there. I think they're bandits." And then he was like, "Oh, I'm with this bigger group. Wait here." And I was a little bit nervous because those bandits chased me. I mean, I'm gonna start running again. But then he came back, and now we're talking. They're not. They're behind us.
Oh, okay. So you don't need our protection, really. You can just go on ahead.
Well, if they're chasing me, I don't want to be by myself. I just thought if I could group with you guys, if you're also heading north, it seems the way you're going, I'd be very welcome and thankful for the company and to get there in safety and numbers, you know?
Yeah. Can I don't know if I could look in his eyes at him and just see if he's drunk, or does he seem drunk, or inebriated, or on drugs, or I don't know what this world is, but does he seem in the right mind?
Give me another blind check, Gordon. Okay, so when you say you're getting closer to him, give me an idea of how close you are to him.
Real close. Like, if you'd let me, I'd put my hands on his shoulders. I'm gonna try to do that. I'd kind of
Okay.
look into his eyes.
So as you do that, you notice he kind of like has almost like a spasm of like fear, and I'll need you to give me a saving throw here. Constitution saving throw.
All right. Solved it.
All right, you notice as you grab onto him and he has this like bit of fear, he goes, ah, ah, ah.
What's wrong?
Well, what are you doing? Why did you grab me?
There's something wrong with you, my friend. Something's wrong with you. What happened to you? And tell us the truth.
What do you mean? What do you mean something's wrong with me?
I just had to do a Constitution saving throw when I put my hands on you. So something
does not compute.
I'm gonna. Can I? I don't know if I can medicine check him. Can I? Let me see.
Is that what you'd like to do to see if he's ill in some way?
I would.
Yeah,
I
go and
would,
throw me a
yeah.
blind check.
And I'll add
Yes,
something a hero
Gordon.
point.
No,
Okay.
you don't need to. You got this well over what you needed. Yes, you recognize he is ill, and you recognize this illness as something that's known as cackle fever. When you have cackle fever, you're a bit tired, a bit disoriented, and if you get a like a shock to your system, so like some fear, or if you're like get attacked or something like that, it actually emerges from your body and others that are close by you, like within touching reach, right? The cackle fever can actually spread to them. It is also known as the shrieks because it causes random bursts of like mad laughter.
Oh, hey guys, everyone step back. Just let me hang out with Thomas. Just give me a few paces. Step back. This man is sick.
We didn't want
Oh,
fuck that.
he's sick?
Yeah, he's sick.
Oh, okay. I can heal him.
Well, with that check, would I think that a cure wounds would help, or more or less a restoration?
You would classify this as a disease, Gordon, so you would think lesser restoration would, fix this right up.
Well, before you do that, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Unless...
Thomas, I think we're going to take care of you. You're sick. You're running
Say-
to the right group of people. We'll take care of you. Hold on.
Save it for me if I fail the saving throw.
Okay.
And Blixel will go over to do lay on hands on this guy.
Give me an idea of how you're approaching him, Blixel.
I go, listen, all I gotta do, I am blessed by the gods. I am a warrior. And if I lay my hand upon you, I can cure you of the disease affecting you.
Go ahead and give me a blind check, Blixel. This is essentially persuasion. I'm seeing how calm you are and how he reacts as you're approaching him. Yeah, this has seemed to pacify him enough. He doesn't like freak out or have any of the other episodes. So yeah, you're able to approach him and touch him.
Okay. Blixel will do 5 points of lay on hands.
Okay, in order to cure a disease.
Yes.
Okay, sure enough, as the holy energy courses through his body, you see his whole body kind of goes taut. His eyes shock open and flicker for a moment, and then you see he takes in a deep breath. Oh, whoa, what was that? Oh, gee, I didn't even realize I was sick, but I think you must be right because I feel better now.
Yes.
Gordon, how would he have got this here disease? Is there others that we should, did somebody give it to him, or was it plant based?
Well, I think if I remember, it was like caused from stress or some situation that you can drop your immune system and get this situation. Right, Adam? How'd you explain it again?
So that's how the disease can spread from someone that's already infected. Like it happens to them and it releases essentially out of their body and can affect nearby people. But original infection, there's a few different ways. But based on your check, I would say you know that there are some certain types of plants or mushrooms, those kind of things that can cause cackle fever.
Okay. Do you have any plants or mushrooms or anything you've been eating? Because that's one way it could happen. Or you could have got it from these bandits if this you're telling us is true. You had a little tussle with them, or it's something you ate. What have you been eating?
No, I didn't get close enough to the bandits for that. I don't think it's anything I'm eating, but I'm pretty sure when I was moving through the forests in my home province of Rudwash, I had to push through some areas, and with the snow, I had to take like a different path than I normally do. And yeah, I entered this area. There was like these bulbs hanging down from some trees. I didn't think much of it, but as I passed through them, like the snow and that, like the stuff on the trees just kind of fell down on my face, and I remember like sneezing a couple of times, and that must be it.
All right. Does he have a satchel or anything, Adam?
He does, yeah.
Hey, I feel comfortable bringing you along with us, Thomas. But can we just see what's in your bag? Do you mind showing us what's in your bag?
Oh yeah, no problem. I just have traveling supplies. He'll open his satchel. You'll notice like some rations, some water skin, some other odds and ends, small like paring knife. Very basic traveling supplies.
Okay. Well, what do you guys think?
I say come with us, but once we get to the city, we don't go in together.
Oh, that's no
Yeah.
problem. I just appreciate even getting me close. I'll be happy to go out in front of you once we're, quarter mile away or something. Or behind, whatever you prefer. I just appreciate you letting me tag along.
Great. Then why don't you tag along and be on our ways? What do you guys think?
I don't have a
Sound-
problem with it.
Sounds fine.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll check in with your folks here and see if they need me to help anything. I'll help just along the way, just to pay back a little bit that I can.
Great idea. And I'll introduce him to Kayla and let her know that he's going to be traveling with us and that he'll be helpful as needed.
All right, you connect him with Keela, and she nods and says that she will put him to work for the short trip. All right, guys. So you've finished this encounter here, and Thomas is restored, which is helpful. You guys continue on your way, but as we're a little bit over halfway our session here, let's go ahead and pause and take our 15-minute break. Alrighty, team. So you guys are currently on the road, having agreed to allow Thomas to come with you, and you guys continue making your way up to Sunderland. Other than just straight traveling, is there anything you guys are wanting to do, accomplish, discuss, anything like that?
Not I.
Okay, so I am going to fast forward then as the train keeps it rolling, as it were. So you guys travel for the rest of that day, and you find yourself pretty close to the capital. You're again traveling along this main road. Mostly you're just seeing woods on either side of this main road. Occasionally you will notice a little break in the woods, small clearing, that kind of thing. But for the most part, you're noticing just how thickly wooded this area was, especially the province of Trebien that you recently have left, As you get into Sunderland, you definitely notice there's more openings, more clearings. Still a lot of trees here, but just not nearly as thick as the previous. But you guys bed down for the evening, kind of put all your tents out, much like you did before. Thomas is with you guys' group, but he's basically staying kind of like in with your servants area. So, yeah, I'm assuming you guys have no problems with that. You guys would then wake up in the morning, once again, break everything down, do last minute preps, and then travel for about 3 more hours before you arrive on the outskirts of the capital city of Thosone, Sunderland. As discussed previously, Thomas is happy, heading on in ahead of you or waiting until you go in and traveling after. Do you guys have a preference?
I would say go ahead.
All right. He thanks you for once again allowing him to stay with you and for healing him from that disease. He thanks you pretty significantly and then takes his leave and travels on into Sunderland. Okay, so you guys wait a short bit of time before making your own way into the capital. As you're arriving, you do notice that this city is certainly smaller than Cariele. Not by a ton, but enough that it's certainly noticeable. As you guys enter the city, you can see that there are quite a few folks, around. There's guards, that sort of thing. But you do notice off to the side of the main entrance of Sunderland that there is probably about 30 different people sitting in these kind of like stools up against this really long, kind of like desk almost, really long table, I guess you could say. And as you guys are entering, you notice people kind of slipping around. They're talking to different folks. As your procession actually enters the front gates, you notice one man breaks away from that table and he kind of rushes off to you holding your procession up. And he says, "Are you all here for the wedding?"
Yes, absolutely. We are visitors from the south.
Excellent, excellent. Welcome to the capital. And just for my records, what are your names? And I'll make sure that your handler is notified. Are you guys willing to give up your real names?
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Okay, he takes down your names. You see he goes back to the table, looks through some various pieces of parchment, and then you see he talks to a guy nearby who kind of rushes off. And then he comes back to you and he says, "It'll just be a moment. I've sent for Rolf the Grey to come meet you and escort you to the manor house. Welcome to the city, as I mentioned. We can take care of your horses here and get everything assisted with your staff and make sure that they know where you're going to be and just start helping you unpack. Is that all right?"
Much appreciated. That would be great.
Gives you an inclination of his head, and then you see he makes his way back, and you notice Keela kind of comes out, and he's speaking with her, and you see she's, again, going through all these details, making the arrangements, and handling that aspect of it. It's about 15 minutes later or so before you notice Mr. de Grey approaching down the walkway, and you see he gives a big smile, and he says, counselors of Cariele, it is great to finally meet you. Well, I should say meet you again, right? Meet you in this country, at least. As you recall, I was a petitioner in your court not too long ago, and I'm glad to see that you decided to take up the offer of the invitation and make your way here. Please follow me. Let me take you to the manor house.
Absolutely.
Okay, he escorts you forward to the manor house. So just you guys at the moment are kind of heading this way, knowing that your staff and folks will be coming shortly behind you. So as you guys get closer to this area, you notice that it's a little bit on the outskirts of the capital city. You can see this large manor house has been built fairly recently, you would guess within the last few years. It looks to be in pretty good state of repair. He takes you down this like 2-track that you're noticing on the map. You can kind of think of that as the entrance. walks you across, and you guys make your way into the manor house itself. It's a fairly large building, and you notice that there's just an absolute bustle of activity. He takes you through kind of like the main hall, and you're pretty sure this is where the wedding proper is going to be, the feasts, all of that. It's just a massive room, probably 100 feet by 40 feet kind of deal. You notice these very large tables are already set up. On a quick glance, it looks like this place is set up for 200 or so guests at minimum. He then takes you guys upstairs and just kind of chatting briefly about Thosone and some of the local attractions, some of the shops back in the city, if you're interested. Drops the name of a couple of taverns if you want to, break off and go get a drink or food before the actual festivities start, which he mentions will be this evening, essentially starting around 6 in the evening. Right now it's probably somewhere between 10:30 and 11 in the morning, so you guys have a little bit of time to kill. But he takes you guys up to your rooms. You notice each of you has been apportioned your own individual room. They're certainly not as fancy as like your rooms back in Cariele and the castle, but they're decently nice. You would assume they're kind of like upper middle class type rooms. So he gives each of you guys a room, dispenses a key, kind of shows you the lay of the land, and you feel fairly well accustomed to like where the walkways are, how to get to where you need to go, how to exit the manor house, all of those kind of details. He lets you know where your staff's going to be, kind of in simpler accommodations, but points out where that is. And then he stops and says, okay, excellent, I believe that's all of the basics. Is there anything else specific that you would like to ask about?
Adam, this is more for you, not for him. But that Stefan Windrus, he had mentioned he's going to be here. So if he does, if we do see him in the halls at some point or whatever the case may be, I'll just, quickly say hello kind of thing. So.
Okay, fair enough. Keeping your eyes peeled for Lord Windrus.
Who else is staying in this lovely manor?
Oh, the manor house accommodates all of the most important guests. So all of those who have been invited, some of the guild masters from around the land. Of course, we have some notable individuals that are coming. I think even the Blemish Knight might be arriving. Quite interesting if I do say so myself. But unfortunately, some of the guests, their invitations were not exactly a yes or a no. It was sort of a, I will do my best to make it. So we have some rooms kind of on standby just in case they do manage to make it. There's rumors that even the Baroness herself might make a quick appearance here. We're all keeping our fingers crossed for that, of course.
Yeah, I see. Who was wishy-washy on the invite?
Oh, well, there's been a few different individuals. I certainly don't want to cast aspersions at anybody. But I can imagine, and you I'm sure can relate, that just the matters of state and concerns and so forth, they can sometimes cause your schedule to not be exactly set, if I may say so. I believe one of the most interesting ones would be the diplomat coming from Twerhiaville. I really hope he is able to make it. I know the Baroness is always happy to welcome guests from Twerhiaville, and the rest of the folks who attend, well, it's how often do you get to sit and meet with an ancient elf?
Yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't happen very often around here, is what I understand from the tone of your voice.
Well, we certainly have some elves in Thosone, thanks to the very good relationship between our two nations. But it's just, well, I'm sure you know, most of the elves are younger, right? They live forever. So every now and again, one that is truly seen many, many things will come this way. And it's just amazing to be able to speak to someone who's been around for 400, 500 years, and imagine all of the knowledge in their minds.
I can't. It's beyond imagination. What a treat. Sure would like to meet this person myself. I'm sure we all would.
Yes, that sounds fascinating.
Well, if they happen to make it, I will certainly let them know of your interest and point them your way.
Oh, it's great.
Most kind, thank you. And these rooms are very, very nice. Thank you. I think you took good care of us.
Excellent, excellent, counselors. I'm glad to hear that you are pleased. Well, feel free to get settled. Don't be surprised if the Chamberlain comes by to speak with you. She had mentioned that she would wish to speak with you. I will let her know you're here. Knowing her, she's very prompt, so I apologize if she shows up moments after I leave, but just want to make sure you're aware.
Was there anything in particular that just a meet and greet, or was there some sort of situation she wanted to talk about?
I think it's just a meet and greet, counselor, but, well, she's a very effective administrator here in Thosone and has tasks in all different kinds of areas. The Baroness really trusts her in a lot of ways, so I can't always say. Some things she don't tell me, of course, my area being diplomacy and foreign affairs type of things. So sometimes she has her own items or tasks or elements of interest that she wishes to discuss.
Fair enough. Thank you.
I'd like to ask one more question, but the name of the country's escaping me. Hold on one sec. Oh yeah. I don't know why I couldn't remember it, but would there be a delegation from Moria visiting for this occasion?
There was some invitations to Moriad. I believe I would have to check the guest registrar, but there was at least 2 lords from Moriad that I believe were coming.
Oh, good. We're good allies with them, and it'd be good to kind of catch up in a more festive environment like this and celebrate this wonderful marriage.
Oh, you are allies with Moriad. I was not aware of that. Interesting. Well, that is really good to hear. I've always heard that they're very stalwart allies.
I don't know if I used the word allies right, Adam, but as much as I could communicate, yeah, we're good friends. Absolutely.
He'll give you a smile and nod. Excellent, excellent. Well, I better attend to some of my other guests and make sure they're all situated. Don't want anybody getting lost in the halls, of course. But, like I said, the Chamberlain will probably be up momentarily.
Very good. We appreciate the offer of allowing us to be here.
Yes, the bride and groom are happy that you were able to come. I will make sure to let them know you're here as well. They may stop by.
We don't even know who the bride and groom is.
We do. She just
Oh,
told
we do?
us.
Oh, well, sorry.
He doesn't say that. Or if
I
he does,
Fair
I
enough.
step on his...
No, I don't say. I thought that we didn't know when we left.
Well, we didn't know when we left, but
Kayla,
our
Kaylin?
assistant named
Yeah.
them.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Keela told you, yep.
Okay, cool.
It's Amelia and Vernon, right?
That's correct.
We are so looking forward to meeting Amelia and Vernon. We've heard so much about them.
He inclines his head. Oh, that is excellent. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you as well. Well, let me get out of your hair then, counselors. I have many things to attend to. I'm sure I'll see you at the feast. I'd be more than happy to share a drink with you all, show you some of the great beverages we have here in Thosone.
Aha! Yes. Sounds good.
All right, he gives you a smile and takes his leave.
Just thought I'd do some name dropping before he left, boys. Mention Moriad.
Nice.
Yeah. And now we know they're supposed to maybe be here. All right. Well, sounds like there's some good people coming. That Elvin guy sounds really cool.
Can you imagine talking to somebody who's been around for 400 years? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What would you ask? Okay, what would you ask, Plexel?
I'd ask him about the hero stones.
Oh, that's a good one. Be more like, what's the meaning of life? But that's cool. You a little more specific.
Yeah, I think the meaning of life is different for someone that can live that long than it would be for someone like you.
Oh, that's
Could
a
you
fair
imagine
point.
how much? Yeah, could you imagine how much taxes that guy's paid in his life? My freaking gosh!
Seriously.
I
But
would be really good at guitar if I lived for 400 years.
You could ask him maybe about what to do about the eyeless one. He probably maybe knows something about him.
Yes, there you go. Now we're getting some questions loaded. There we go. You got to prepare for these. You got to have a prepared question when you go to these important meetings.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just a bird that flies up to you and starts talking to you.
Oh yeah.
So always be prepared.
We should have asked if Garnica is going to be on the guest list.
Oh, there goes the name again.
You're not supposed to say that name.
Some of us are going to follow the instructions. Maybe the blizzard was her doing, because she heard about what you said.
Oh.
All right, as you guys are chatting and in your individual rooms, I imagine you're like kind of unpacking a little bit and then kind of, chatting in the hall, that kind of thing. And you do indeed notice some footsteps, hear those approaching first, and you hear a little bit of chatter out in the hall as your doors are open. And you notice first a woman enters your line of sight, whoever's closest, first room. Not that it's super important, but you'll notice she kind of pokes around and smiles through the doorways, and she says, "Ah, counselors of Cariele, I am happy to finally make your acquaintance. Please, a moment. I am Helene Dossieri. It is wonderful to see you."
Wow, that's great. And are you what do you like to see us about?
Right to business. I can certainly appreciate that, counselor. Well, this won't take too much of your time. If perhaps we could all just enter one of your rooms here. Who would like to host?
Blixel's. Blixel's room was perfect.
Sure. Come on in.
All right, she will enter that room, and you'll see, again, it's a little bit crowded now with all of you guys in here, but, it's not like you're on top of each other. She will kind of stand against the wall and motion for the door to be closed.
Blixel will lay on the bed.
And I'll just close the door.
Excellent. Well, it is great to meet you all. I have some brief notes. I'm pretty sure I could put names to faces, but let's not do the guessing game. How about you just tell me who each of you are?
I'm Gordon Wainwright, follower of Sarah, eternal optimist. Some call me a doctor, medical doctor, but yeah, pretty much man of the cloth, despite this shield on my back.
Priest of
Counselor
Sarah.
Saline.
Yes,
Yep.
please.
Counselor Saline de Cietoile, appointed seer of Carolinian Council.
You notice she kind of purses her lips a bit and nods. Oh, the seer. I'm sure I know someone who's going to want to speak with you.
Yeah, my name is Counselor Tavern Ironsong. Very nice to meet you, lady. Thank you for wanting to meet with us. And yeah, I kind of just try to. My job is to try to keep these guys out of trouble.
You see, she nods slowly. I had heard that you were on the council. I must say I was very surprised about that. A very progressive group of you all. Yes, indeed. And of course, that places you as Counselor Blixel.
Yes. The Copper Counselor. Man of the people. Blixel, Marksland, at your service.
You notice she kind of like stifles a chuckle with her hand and says, I see. Well, I appreciate your time. It is great to meet you all. As I mentioned, I am Helene Dossieri. I am the Chamberlain of Thosone here. I help the Baroness attend to various matters and take care of many of the things that she's too busy to do. I'm sure you all can relate. Quite a few different things you've had to do down there in Cariele. I've heard various good things, but, well, I wish you the best of luck, of course. Why I wanted to speak with you quickly is you may not be aware, but in the past there was some communications between our two nations and discussion of a marriage proposal that didn't really go anywhere. But ever since then, I've had some ideas, and I've been speaking with the Baroness, and Well, the base idea certainly seemed to be a good one. It's just the players, I think, need a little bit of flux. So, what I wanted to discuss with you is your new Baroness. What is her name again? I'm sorry, it changed so recently. I don't want to mispronounce it.
Milena.
Yes, yes, that's it. Um, what would you think she would say to a marriage proposal between a very prominent citizen of Thoso and somebody within in the inner court and herself?
If it was beneficial to her, I'm sure she would be able to consider it, at least. She is not naive to the way of politics.
That I am very glad to hear. If you could make this happen, it would be quite beneficial for both our realms. There's a couple of individuals that she could have her pick of. In fact, both of the Baroness's cousins are currently unwed.
Yeah, I
Okay.
don't need to speak. I was just gonna say I don't want to speak for her. I don't really know her in that way, so to speak, right? But I would hope that if if this, I hope we get to meet these two gentlemen if we do have that opportunity, because I'm sure if we tell her, hey, this was, a discussion, she's gonna ask for more details.
Yes, they are both here. I could certainly ask them to stop in and speak with you. That would be easy to arrange.
Are they aware of this consideration?
They are. They have close relations with the Baroness, and the general idea of forging stronger ties to the only other Enwirian neighbor of ours seems to be quite prudent. So, yes, the general concept has been discussed with them.
Now, if she herself is not interested, because like I said, I don't know her interest, but is there anyone else in our region that you would be, that you've considered as well?
What an interesting idea! And she gives a little smile as though you can tell this isn't the first time she's thought of this. Yes, of course, but it would need to be someone of prominence, like a counselor, perhaps.
Yeah. So I look at Gordon. I guess Gordon. I guess that'd be you.
Yeah, I look around the room. well, well, that is surprise to me. I suppose if the moment's right and if it feels right, and she's gorgeous, of course.
Different cousins, of course, right?
Yeah, not
You
the
notice
guys,
she
right?
smiles a bit and says, I'm afraid the Baroness only has two male cousins.
Yeah, well, we're a progressive
Uh,
group, as you say.
no,
Worth considering.
I'm not. I play for one team. I'm sorry.
Well, we're learning things about each other today.
Well, perhaps Councilwoman Serena would be interested in such matters. She's unfortunately not with us currently, but
I have heard some tale of Counselor Serena. I think she would be perfectly viable. Yes, if the Baroness is not interested in wedding herself, then as far as I see, there are two female counselors on your council, and I'm sure either would be satisfactory.
oh, you hear that, Celine?
I hear her. We should probably see how Countess Gladendale feels about the arrangement, of course. So she would get first pick, obviously.
Could be a double wedding.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you are receptive to this idea. I think strengthening the bonds between our two nations would go very far to making things better for all of our citizens, for ourselves. I'm sure there are troubles that you're having down there that we could aid with, and perhaps vice versa as well.
Well, I think just having this conversation is also a positive for our two nations as well.
I agree, Counselor. It's always good to just lay all your cards on the table. Well, thank you so much for your time. Sounds like maybe some additional details forthcoming, but I will certainly be in contact when you return to Cariele. I assume after the feast, the wedding, you're headed straight back to Carolinian?
That's our plan. Yes.
Yeah, unless we've partied too much, you know.
You see, she smiles. Oh, well, we'll try to make sure that you have quite a good time within the 3 days of the feast. But if you return post haste from then, I would love to receive a messenger from you within, say, a week or so, and let us know how you're feeling there about the idea.
Oh, yeah. Am I the one? Is that my? Celine, is that my? Am I the one that does? Yeah, I'll be happy to send a letter to you or directly to you, Helene.
Yes, that would be quite appropriate. You could send it directly to me.
Oh, well, I'd love to. I'm really good at writing letters. Lay it on the table.
She smiles. Oh, that is excellent. I look forward to hearing you in pen words then.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, shall I ask both of the Baroness's cousins to come in separately, of course, so you can speak with them briefly and ask them any questions that you might?
All right.
At some point during the 3 days, I mean, if they're not busy, that at their convenience, of course.
You see, she smiles a bit and she says, well, to be quite frank, Derek Thoson was actually with me moments ago because he wished to speak separately with you. So I will let him know if you're ready now. Her other cousin, he is not right around, so that would be later during the day, maybe tomorrow, perhaps.
Splendid.
Send in the bachelor.
You see, she smiles once again. Excellent, excellent. I should let him know that you are ready to speak with him. And welcome to Thoson. I am so grateful that you are able to come, and I hope that you have such a wonderful time while you're here. Please let me know. Do not hesitate to let me know if you have any issues that I can help make your stay even more wonderful while you're here.
Again, thank you for coming and having this conversation with us, especially so soon after we arrived. It makes us, really understand the bond between our two nations.
You are people of importance and shall be treated as such. And with that, you see she makes her way to the door. I shall send him straight in. And it is not 30 seconds later before you hear a little rap on the door.
I'll open it.
All right, and you notice a gentleman standing there, and you see he just gives you a curt nod, Gordon. He says, Derek Thoson, wish to speak with you briefly. I won't take up too much of your time.
Yeah, sounds great. Come on in.
He does indeed. He steps in, and you see he scans around the room. Ah, you're all here. Excellent. Well, let's get right down to brass tacks, as it were. How is that ley line going for you in Riverford?
Not good.
How do you know about that? That's kind of new for us.
You notice he holds up a hand, and you see this like swirling magical energy just kind of circles on top of his hand, and then he closes it, and it seems to vanish. He says, I am a source holder here in Thoson. I possess realm magic. I feel the intensity of the ley lines in the land. When a ley line is forged this close to my own holdings, it's impossible to miss.
Well, we've tried our darndest to try to get rid of it a couple of times, so to speak.
It is concerning.
He is a tenacious opponent.
Do you have anything that maybe would be of aid to us in such an endeavor? Do you know of the faceless or the eyeless one?
I am familiar, unfortunately. He's a thorn in the side of Anweir, and I come bringing advice for you. Hopefully, you will find it worthwhile. First of all, you probably
Oh,
already
excuse me.
know
Did you say advice or better dice? I couldn't hear you. Sorry. No, I'm
advice.
kidding.
One or both of those
I'm
we might
kidding.
need.
We need better dice too.
We'd also need advice.
As you're probably aware, I actually own a source holding in the same province of Riverford. It's minor. I've never really used it for much. Try to expand my network of sources every now and again. Of course, I mean you no ill will, as our two nations are on generally neutral terms. However, I always could forge my own ley line for one of my sources to Riverford, giving me enough power to counter any efforts that the Eyeless One might bring to bear.
Wow,
Very interesting.
that would be very significant.
And
Very
what would you
significant.
ask in exchange?
Nothing. The ley line would just not be destroyed once this immediate risk is over. You would allow me to maintain it for future use.
Why would you want to have a ley line into our country?
Well, it allows me to cast my spells farther away, and who's to say what the future will hold? I don't mean to say anything bad will happen there in Cariele, but it's always possible. You recently were attacked by Thurazor, were you not?
Yes, and that is why we are here, is to create allies. But we do not wish to be beholden to someone else that has the power over our citizens.
Beholden. You wouldn't be beholden whatsoever. It would just mean in the future, if, let's say, the goblins invaded you once again, I might be able to use some of my magic to aid you in those battles. Or I could do many things if, let's say, your people unfortunately were having a bad season. Well, all it takes is a few flicks of the fingers and to allow good feelings to move through the land, and what do you know? Suddenly they love the Council and the Baroness of Cariele. It really is quite simple.
And you would do such things for us if asked.
Potentially, yes. I'm sure we could come to some arrangements. We should be friends, should we not?
Yeah, we should keep the communications open. That's quite an offer you're presenting. I guess just maybe we should think a little highly of ourselves. We're not sure why we would earn such benefits from someone we just met.
Well, being quite honest, it's beneficial to me and to you, so it's not as though it's complete charity. My ability to cast magic into your lands is helping me protect my lands. My cousin wants to make sure that the lands of Thosone are well fortified. Most of our worries or concerns come from the north, not from the south, but those goblins, you can never truly trust them, and you may not be aware, but sometimes it's as simple as being able to cast realm magic into one province allows you to reach neighboring provinces. So, should I need, for example, to use that ley line to hit into Murgarat, for example, well, that would allow me to do that.
All right, so that was my leading question. I want to, when he says it's equally beneficial, can I do an insight check to see if it's unequal? If he's telling the truth, though, I think it's more on his advantage than us.
Sure, yeah, you can make a blind check to see if you get that impression. So I would say yes, you probably do get that impression that he thinks that it is probably more beneficial for him than it is for you. Yes.
Well,
Can magic be cast the other way through the ley line?
No, it cannot.
It has to originate here.
Well, a ley line simply connects two sources, Counselor, so essentially what it does is it allows me to use the power of a more potent source here in Thosone and cast it down there in Riverford should it be connected. My source in Riverford is nothing to brag about. It is just barely there, but connected via a ley line, it would be just as potent as my source and Rude Wash.
Hmm.
Think about it. I'm not pressing you for an answer right immediately, but I could certainly help you ward off the attacks of the Eyeless One. It's something I would be happy to do. I don't quite care for him, and I don't like him using magic for evil needs. That's just completely wrong. And we wizards should stand up and prevent poor uses of arcane magic such as that.
Great.
I agree 100%. You understand that the safety of our people is our first priority, so we must simply make sure we are safeguarding them.
That is quite understandable, and to that end, free advice to you. In the past, the Eyeless One has been known to use a particular realm spell known as the Death Plague. Are you familiar?
No, but it sounds horrible.
It is.
Those are two bad words put together.
Yes, it is very bad. It is like a province-wide illness that seeps through the ground, through the limbs of the trees, through the buildings. It suffuses everything in its negative energy. It causes many deaths and destruction as far as loss of life. It is quite vile, in fact, and I wouldn't want to see any lands subjected to such evil magic. And if he should hope to deploy this against you, there are two countermeasures that you can use right away to stop it in its tracks. The first one is using the Blessed Land magic at the realm level. Perhaps you know somebody in your church that could help you with that.
Everyone looks at me and I'm like, maybe.
The other option, either arcane or divine, is using the Dispel Magic realm spell. That is potent enough to stop it, but it must be powered up, essentially. As much power as the Eyeless One has used in his Death Plague, you would have to use that much power to block it. Whereas the Blessed Land simply cancels it out. So Blessed Land, I would say, is your better way to go there.
All right.
Hmm.
Well, I appreciate all this advice, but I'm a little surprised. I thought you were interested in the Baroness's hand.
Oh, yes, that other matter. Well, if I can be quite frank, I don't know much about the Baroness. What could you tell me about her? What kind of woman is she?
Well, she has an air about her of leadership. She can certainly command a room. Have you seen her? She's gorgeous. She's got like red hair. She's got some really cool weapons and stuff like that. Anything else, guys?
She's strong. But she seems to be fair.
She has a
Not
pragmatic aura about her.
I don't mind in public when my significant other is, forceful and in lead, but behind closed doors, I hope it wouldn't be that way. How is she in private settings?
I don't know.
Well, she does seem to be, I would say that a weak man probably would not do well by her. She's
Hmm.
nice, she's fair, those type of things, right? But she's also, she knows how to, say what she wants to say.
You notice he kind of smiles slightly. Oh, I must say, I don't think I would do well with her then. I am quite fed up with the women in my life directing me and telling me what to do. I'd like to get away from that. I'm sure you all can imagine. Well, maybe not all of you, but most of you can imagine. No man wants to live his life being pushed around and forced by a woman to do what she wants. But my cousin, I think he would be quite a good fit for her. So if you want to seal the deal, when he comes to speak with you, simply tell him that I think I want to marry her, and I'm dying to marry her, and it will make him absolutely jealous with rage, and he will do everything he can to make the deal with himself.
You got it all planned out, huh, Derek?
You see, he smiles a bit. Oh, you have to be 2 steps ahead of everything here to get anything done, and keep your skin out of the fire, as it were.
And at that, Gordon will make a mental note, stay 2 steps ahead of everything, writes it down in his head. Done.
We do appreciate all your advice and hopefully in the future your help.
He nods. Well, I am more than happy to give that advice, and if you need anything from me, if you do run into further issues with the eyeless one, like I said, that offer is always on the table. I can forge that ley line and use realm magic defensively to protect your lands. Of course, doing so would require resources and things, but we can discuss those arrangements later. As you said, the first and most primary efforts that you must face is the defense of your people. You can't allow a madman like the eyeless one to simply hold a weapon over your entire realm.
You're right. Well, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you for your upfrontness and your wonderful advice.
He nods. Excellent. Well, I shall take my leave and enjoy the wedding. You see he motions with his hand, and the door opens, and he walks out, and the door then closes on its own.
No, it doesn't. I close it with my waving of my hand.
You beat him by a half a second, it starts closing, and then his moves faster.
I can do thaumaturgy too, okay, buddy? Actually,
Actually, that was
slams the door.
mage hand.
Yeah, dang it. All right, fine. Well, what do you boys think? That was odd.
I think we should give him the ley line, honestly.
I don't think it's our choice to make, but we'll keep it in consideration. I mean, obviously, we've only been here a couple of hours, so you never know what may transpire over the next 3 days.
It is.
Yeah.
It would be giving Thosone a significant amount of power over us. If they were to choose to use the ley line for less than honorable ways than he suggested, we'd be stuck between two.
And don't forget one of his final statements is he likes to stay 2 steps ahead of everything. So he's got a plan for it.
Yeah,
Beyond just defending ourselves. He knows we have no help. He can read it. He knows it's there. We're weak in his mind, and he's going to take advantage of it. That's my read.
Yeah, but how else are we going to stop the death plague?
Yeah, well, we're going to do the land bless.
But how long can we keep doing that? Eventually, we're going to have to put a stop to this in more permanent terms.
You're right. I mean, we have nothing to. He's right. We need help. He's dead right on that.
He is, and that's what frustrates me.
So as a quick reminder, you guys have had Blessed Land on effect in your realm previously. If you guys remember when you struck the agreement with the NRC and they blessed all 3 provinces. So that has previously been done. In the future, though, if you needed that done again, you would have to work with the NRC, and that means they have to essentially spend a domain action to do the spell. So it's definitely not a guarantee that they would do it like whenever you need. So just keep in mind that level of kind of like prep work that you would need to done to counter a death plague.
No, I need to go to church more often, I guess is what I'm hearing in the back of my head.
I do have a religious favor, but I don't think that is big enough to extend to this. So
Either way, you're right. The immediate priority must be the safety of our citizens. However, personally revolting such an arrangement might come across as. But we do need help, so.
well, yeah, let's keep it on the back burner till after the wedding. We'll see, but we might need to act quicker sooner rather than later on this sort of thing in case bad stuff starts happening. But we'll see.
Yeah, I'm thinking we give an answer before we leave.
You have that sending spell, right? You can
Yeah.
communicate with Countess Gladdenel.
I can, yeah, right now.
Well, perhaps later when she's not busy with
Yeah.
something. It's like the
Yeah.
middle of the day, but yeah.
Yeah, I prepared it for this trip thinking communications might be important.
Question for you.
Sure.
Who, me?
How close are we to the province of Darylene?
Darylene. That name's not ringing an immediate bell. What's the context?
Uh,
Oh, are you
there
talking
was
about
there,
Sign?
yeah, there was a little vampire girl that had directions.
Yes. Okay. Yep.
Well, that's a
So
throwback.
that is, yeah. So that is here. If you can see up there. Hopefully you could see up there. Oh, actually, it looks like I'm not showing
Okay.
it my results, but yeah, whoever just pinged that, yes, indeed, that's where it's at.
Okay, so that's still pretty far away. Okay. We
All
met
right.
a vampire girl a long time ago that used to live in Dozone. But she's far north of us.
You never forget a girl, do you?
Nope.
Can't afford those distractions in my life.
I mean, I'm pretty sure she was a vampire or undead or something, so that kind of stands out. I didn't let her bite me or anything.
All right.
All right, guys. So you guys have about 6-ish hours, maybe a little bit more than that, before the actual feast part of the wedding begins on the first day of the feast. Is there anything you're wanting to accomplish? Do you want to go into the main capital city? Is there any like shopping, anything like that that you're wanting to do while you're waiting?
Yes.
Let's check the magic items.
Yes.
He wants those goggles.
Goggles of night.
All right, so it sounds like a trip into the capital city then. All right, so you guys make your way out of the manor house, and you notice that your staff has now made their way into the manor house, so they're all getting kind of prepped and that sort of thing. You guys make your way through the manor house, out the doors, and I'm just going to go ahead and put you guys back on the main map as you head over to the main city. Okay, so with that, as you guys are going to do some little checking around in town, why don't we start with Gordon? Gordon, go ahead and throw me a blind check. Okay, you spend about an hour, and sure enough, you do find a shop that is selling a pair of goggles of night.
What?
Roll me a 1d6.
Oh, okay.
Low,
Price
low,
real low.
low.
They're asking
bad, not
for
bad.
450 gold pieces.
Okay. Okay, hold on a sec. These are great. These look really cool. Can I? Blixel.
Hey, what's up? This is a really cool shop we're in.
Yeah. These are the goggles you were looking for, right, Blixel? They're right here. I wink at him.
Oh, those are pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how much. How much did you say you were at, Blixel? I don't know. Tell him he's looking for him, really.
You're saying this to the shopkeep?
Yeah.
All right. You notice the shopkeeper is actually a female halfling, and you see she's sitting on this elevated chair, and she looks up and with a very bored expression, she says, "The goggles of night are 450 gold."
Oh. Well, it was meant to be part of a wedding gift, but can I give you a little bit less? I don't have quite that much. I have 380 gold.
You see, she looks you over and she says, 380 gold. Do you have anything else of items that you could offer to offset the difference in the cost?
Is it just the two of you, or are we all there?
I'm assuming you guys are all there, unless you decided to hang outside the shop.
I bought Blixel in for his smile.
Yeah, I mean,
I know what you were trying to do.
I'll tell you one thing. We're great customers. We're adventurers. This will be used to help people in need. We just don't have that much money. I don't have anything else to give you. I promise we'll be repeat customers with you.
All right, so you're offering 380. So essentially, you're looking for about a 20% discount. Go ahead and give me a blind check. You see, she kind of just stares at you blankly for a really long time. And when you're just about to start speaking, because you're like, this lady's trailed off or something, she says, okay, fine, 380 gold.
Okay. Good deal. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And Buxel gives her pretty much all the gold that he has.
All right, she will take that, putting it into a satchel, and then you'll see she goes under the counter, uses some keys to unlock some things, grabs the goggles, puts them on the counter, and then takes a cloth and kind of rubs the lenses and hands them over.
Ah, see, you found him, Blixel. I knew we could do it. Thank you very much.
Very happy about spending someone
yeah.
else's money.
What else you got here? Anything really cool?
I guess it depends on what you think is cool, but I have a mantle of spell resistance, but it's quite expensive.
Oh. Well, I don't have any more gold. I gave it all to you. How much is it? How much is the mantle?
I could sell it to you for 7,000 gold.
Oh. Maybe next time. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for the goggles. They're going to make a little boy very happy.
You see she kind of doesn't respond, like knowing the transaction's over. Her eyes just move away from you and back down to the counter.
Okay. And once we exit the shop, Blix will give the goggles to Gordon.
Okay, in exchange, I'll give you all of my gold of 365.
I've got some gold if you guys. I've got,
No, I paid 0, so so we owe 380. So can someone pay 15 to?
Well,
Make
I'm
them
just
whole.
saying I can go ahead and I'll give somebody 50 gold pieces. So then, because you got to remember, if you guys aren't walking around with torches and stuff, that's helping the rest of us, right? So hey, I'll pay 50 gold for that.
Yeah. I was gonna pitch in money if Blixel's check failed. I know that's what you were fishing for.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Blixel, they found the goggles you were looking for.
Blixel, we need persuasion check.
Wink, wink.
I'm not just a persuasion robot, guys.
But it's so useful.
All right, I'm good. Blixel, however you guys want to work it, I'll donate because people are going to need gold regardless, even if it's pennies here and there, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and donate 50 gold. I don't care if each one of you take 25. However you guys work it, that's your business.
So why don't you just give me 15 and then give 35 to Gordon so he has something to walk around with.
Sounds good. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give Gordon an extra 100, but not in the middle of the street where everyone is watching us.
Yeah, exactly.
Pull out a fuck ton of money.
Oh, thanks, guys.
All right.
Yeah, now you can stop giving away our location.
That's true.
Yeah, you can finally see in the dark like the rest of us.
Like a normal person. I'm sorry, a gifted person. Goddamn humans.
Should we get a gift? I guess no. That was
We-
part of the gold.
Yeah, we already. Well, those arrangements were already made.
Okay.
Yeah, they didn't trust. They didn't trust our opinions on that. They took care of that.
Ah, that was so good. Okay, so how about I don't know, healing potions, Adam? We could just grab them for 50 gold.
Yeah, you can find. I mean, unless you're trying to buy like a huge amount of stock, you can easily find like 4 around town.
Okay, I got 1 for emergencies. Thank you, Celine. Anyone else want to just grab a healing potion? It might help.
I just decide not to get hurt.
No, well,
I'll
Flexel.
I'll buy one.
All right, and how about no, I think I'm good.
Okay, so you guys have done a little bit of shopping inside of the capital, Sunderland. Here, is there anything else in the main city that you're wanting to do, or are you heading back to the manor house?
We should do some talk at the taverns and see what the scuttlebutt is about the wedding. Maybe we can hear some stuff about the big wedding and what people are saying. A little intel gathering, guys.
That sounds good. I was gonna see if there's any sort of library with elven books, if we could figure out the hero stones. Since these people know the elves a little bit more, but that's not really Blixel's style to be researching, so I think he'd be more than happy to go with you to try to talk to normal people.
Like, so are you inviting me to go to a library? Because this is the most I've ever liked you.
Yes,
If so.
Celine, can you do a little research? We got 6 hours until. I figured there might be more elven-y stuff here.
Yeah, we can try. Sounds right up my alley.
All right, so it sounds like Saline and Blixel are going to look around for a library here in the capital. How about Tavern and Gordon going with them, or something separate?
Nah, I'm gonna buy my friend a beer.
All right, so Tavern and Gordon
I'm
are
just
making their
hanging
way to a
around.
tavern.
I'm out of trouble.
And once we find the library, I'm gonna let Celine stay there, and I'm gonna go to the tavern.
You're gonna leave me here alone in a strange city where
I
anything
can go
could
with
happen?
you. I'm just
The
keeping you out of
library.
trouble.
It's the safest place.
The last time I opened a book, I almost died.
What's the chances of that happening twice?
I don't know. What's the chances of us rolling the same shadow portal card like 8 sessions in a
Oh,
row?
fine. I'll sit around while you read books.
I'll find you some pornography in the adults only section.
Oh,
That
all
makes you
right. Say less. Let's go.
All right, so you guys make your way looking for a library. It's not too difficult to find one. You do eventually track one down. What seems to be sort of like the main library, at least here in the capital city. You notice again, it's not as big as the one in Carolinian, and you would know that it's small as far as like other capital cities are concerned, but still quite a few different books. So yeah, you guys spend some time looking around there, seeing if anything of interest sticks out to you. Both of you can go ahead and throw me blind checks. We'll see if you're able to track down anything of significance. And then Tavern and Gordon, you guys make your way to a tavern. Are you like just going in and trying to be really careful of how much you drink here, or are you like kind of sampling the different options?
I'm gonna get the little mini glasses, the 5 that comes on the tray. Order one of those and some pretzels, and just kind of get a feel for if we're getting lucky, if we get any banter that we get over here.
And I'm just doing what good dwarves do, but I'm not planning on, slushing it up or anything like that. Just, having one for my right hand and one for my left hand, sort of thing.
Okay, So it's not, I think I'm interpreting that as you're drinking a little bit more than Tavern.
I'm having a couple glasses, but I'm not doing the old dwarven party, you know.
Got it.
So.
Okay, so you're trying to be circumspect as far as how much you're consuming. Okay, so yeah, go ahead and deduct a gold piece between the two of you. This will cover like all of your drinks, and it's things are a little bit more pricey here. You're noticing. You don't know if it's because of the wedding traffic. Maybe there's a little bit of price gouging going on, that kind of thing. But a little bit more expensive. But yeah, overall seems to be pretty good. I would say because you're being real careful as far as how much you drink. You notice pretty quickly that these drinks are much stronger than what you would expect. And you realize if you were to have, say, 2 or maybe 3 more, that might end up being a really wild day.
Good to know.
These are like IPAs that are 10%.
That's the other reason I wanted Blixel with me.
All right. Between Gordon and Tavern, why don't you guys both roll me a D10? And because you're being circumspect, I'm going to take the better of these two.
Would have been better if one of us rolled a 1, one rolled a 10. then we just know, right?
Okay, so based on these two, I think the better one is still not great, but okay, so you guys are both drinking here. Again, you're feeling just how strong these are, so you're kind of cooling off on them. But there's a lot of people in this tavern kind of moving about. Some people are bumping into you. At some point during this time you guys are here drinking and just trying to listen to what other folks are talking about, one of you bumps into somebody, and that person then very exaggeratedly like falls back really far, like seemingly completely off balance, spilling a bunch of drinks over what looks to be a woman who's kind of sitting here in the corner. You can see she's dressed fairly nicely. You get the impression almost of like a noblewoman, and there's all this like alcohol just kind of pours on her, mostly like on her shoes and stuff. You see she looks at him and then looks at you guys, connecting the dots, and you can see this real anger strikes across her face.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, slipped a little bit. I'm very sorry about that. Maybe I'll get a rag for you.
I checked my coin purse and everything, Adam.
Blind check is best to see how good you can detect that.
Well, I know where my coin purse is, but
It's still there. Yeah, it feels about the same.
nice. And so, as a reminder, I also have that holy symbol on, even though I'm not a cleric. And I'm going to say, "Good sir, are you okay? You seem to be stumbling a little bit. You look like you took a nasty fall. Maybe you've had a little bit too much to drink. Are you okay? Maybe I can help you up."
He does let you help him up, and you can see he is probably what you would have been if you didn't realize how strong these were and drank the extra 3. So yeah, he's having a hard time like even stepping. He's kind of walking around like he's on, the moon, like raising each foot up real wide and then setting it down.
Maybe we should have you sit down for a little bit, sir. My name is Tavern. It's very nice to meet you. Here. Excuse me, folks. Excuse me. I need to take him to a chair.
You
And while
get
he's
him.
doing that, I'm gonna try to get a rag and sit with the lady and apologize with her.
All right, throw me a blind check here, Gordon. See how well your apologizing / cleaning up efforts go over. Yeah, she is not having it, Gordon. She is not happy at all. And as you're kind of like trying to clean up, she says, "No, you're causing it to soak into the fabric. Just get out of the way." And you see she gets up and pushes you out of the way and moves quickly out the door.
That's great. And so I also, before Tavern's gonna do his thing, I want to reach in my coin purse and try to give a tip to the bartender. How does my coin purse feel?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're
Does it have-
checking your own coin purse?
Yeah, I'm trying to get some money out. Do I look like I've been pickpocketed?
I mean, not on just a quick glance, unless you're counting every single coin. You don't think so?
Okay.
I like to give a silver. Oh, I have a gold. All I have is gold. So if we're causing a commotion, I'd like to see that and give a gold piece to the bartender.
Okay, the bartender takes it, but you notice he's not like overjoyed or anything like that. He's very busy, so he's like, "Oh, yep, sure," and just kind of takes it from you, and then is like pulled in a bunch of different directions, and you can see him like trying to corral some of the staff to go out and start cleaning up the mess.
All right.
So Tabard, you get this guy like in a chair, and you can see he's basically just gonna have to like sleep it off, most likely. Like he's even having a hard time keeping his head level.
Do you have any of your friends here? I'm looking around. What's your name, good sir?
I had 3 friends, but I drank them all.
Yeah, I know. I understand. But what's your name? Drinks a lot.
You see, he looks up towards you. They call me Arf.
Arf. Yeah. Hey. Any friend of Arf's here? He needs to get home.
You notice everybody around's kind of like not really listening to you, but eventually you see one person kind of comes over and says, "Oh yeah, I could take him home. I know where he's at, right down the way."
Hey, Arf. Your friend here is going to help you get home. I don't think you should be here. Maybe we'll catch up later this week and buy a round or something.
He's like, "All right," and like just kind of like slings his hand over this guy's shoulder, and you see the guy just shaking his head, and he gives you a nod as he starts escorting him out of the building. All right, and then heading over to the library. So Saline and Blixel, as you guys spend a bit of time there, I noticed what you posted there, Saline, and your check. What I would say is, if this book if this library had a book on the Hero Stones, that's specifically what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You
Or
definitely
at least
would
any
have
kind of
found it.
tangential information. Okay.
If it was there, you would absolutely have found it like really easily. But unfortunately, there are no books on the Hero Stones in this library.
Not surprising. Do I at least find Blixel his porn?
Sure. Yes. We'll take the other half of that nat 20 roll and say, yeah, you found the most scandalous books you could find.
Jackpot.
I'm glad someone is gonna have a happy ending here.
All right, guys. Well, that is our session. We have a lot of RP events here with the wedding. You guys should expect that when we meet back up next week, you'll have the actual parts of the wedding here. With the NPCs you guys have already met, is there anyone else in specific that you're wanting to meet or is trying to set some time aside for? Or are you guys ready to essentially move through the events of the wedding?
The Moriad people?
Okay, yep. So still specifically looking for the lords from Moriad.
And the other cousin, I think we need to still meet him too.
All
Any
right.
excuse not to marry this sleazeball.
So you want to make sure to speak with Clumine Doson or Clumine Thoson. Yep, I got him marked down, and then Lords from Moriad. Yeah, okay. Anybody else in particular? I know you guys said that Elf Ranger that might be coming from, if they arrive, they'll let you know. But other than that, there's no one that's sticking out to you guys, right?
The guild that wants to sell their stuff, I think we should meet with.
Okay, fair enough.
there's a
And
guy
is
that wants
that...
to sell stuff, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 3 different guild masters. Of course, you can meet with each one to try to figure out who that is. But if you want to just basically ask Keela to basically say, like, hey, find out who this person is, she can do that kind of on the down low and then let you know who that person is.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, I'm going to jot that down real quick.
And at some point, it doesn't have to be like right before the wedding or anything, but we should probably talk to the Chamberlain again. That is the same name as the woman who negotiated with the guild about the river situation with all the pollution. So
Is
since
indeed,
she's here,
yes.
we might as well talk to her to see if we can find out what they did and how they were able to get the guild on their side on that.
And I have one more thing. We do want to circle back, I hate that, with Daedric regarding the ley line before we leave. Just keep that in our minds. But also, I could do a sending spell to Melania. And I can do that, maybe tonight we go back to our rooms at the manor and we sit and talk. and I can send that message on Discord, Adam, to you, and maybe get a message back, and I'll send it through Discord when we're
Yeah,
kind of
that'll
during
work.
the week.
Yeah, is
Okay.
it? I mean, I could probably give you an answer right now. Is it basically you're just saying like, how do you feel about this, and giving her the general gist of the idea?
Well, no, I want to. I think I want everyone's opinion on Discord, and so I don't want to take up too much time tonight. So
Okay,
I'll
yep,
make sure I
yeah,
send
fair
it
enough.
out.
All right, we will look forward to that then, and we'll get you a response when we can. All right, guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed this session. Like I said, we'll pick up next week and continue on with the wedding. Be expecting some more RP events through this wedding, and there might be, who knows, what else might be occurring at this wedding and what you guys might get involved in. So, yeah, have a great night, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Weddings don't have any confrontations. I'm sure it's gonna be
Never, no
wonderful.
drama.
Oh, never. Thanks,
Night
Adam.
all.
Thanks,
Again,
See ya.
that y'all.